Live from Vintage Throne Stadium in the township of Springwater, it's Intercounty Baseball. Tonight, the Barrie Baycats will put their 2-0 start on the season on the line as they take on the Hamilton Cardinals for the first time in this 2023 season. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. I'm Ben Davy, along with Patrick Melbourne and the rest of our Baycats TV crew. Well, you may recall a year ago, the Baycats got off to a 4-0 start of the 2022 season, and so far, Patrick, they're halfway there, following an 11-10 dramatic win over Toronto on opening night, and then a 7-2 win over Brantford on Sunday afternoon.
And what a win that was against Brantford. I mean, they were both really impressive. The first one, a come-from-behind win, and then the second one, they just really had a breakout in the middle of that game. Starlin Rodriguez with a massive home run, Evan Souls with an excellent pitching performance. They've had two massive highlights at the plate and a couple on the mound so far. Interested to see how that'll continue today against the Hamilton Cardinals.
Yeah, it took the Bats a few innings to get going in that Brantford ball game, but they got to those late innings thanks to a masterful 8 1/3 inning emergency relief appearance by 20-year-old right-hander Evan Souls. By far the best performance we've seen from him so far in his career here at Barrie.
Yeah, a little bit of shoulder tightness for Christian Mullen. We'll hear a little bit more about that later on in the game from Julius Hern, as well as some updates on some of the other players, Tyler Plumpton, Hayden Jaco as well. But tonight we get our first starting appearance from Jeffrey Nunez. He was in the game on opening night in relief a little bit, just getting loose and ready for the season. Tonight we'll get to see how he is when he starts a game. Saw him last year with the Guelph Royals. Now he's on the Baycats side.
Hamilton Cardinals are off to a decent 2-1 start by virtue of a couple of one-run wins, a 10-5 loss in Guelph sandwiched between those games. And on Sunday, they faced the defending champion London Majors, trailing 3-2 in the bottom of the ninth, and then they turned it around for a 4-3 walk-off victory. So they're riding a little bit of momentum following that big win against the defending champs on the weekend.
Yeah, it seems like the Hamilton Cardinals might be that annoying team for other teams. Last year in the playoffs, they had that upset series win, and now they just beat the defending IBL champions 4-3, like you mentioned. They are a team you cannot take lightly. They did not have the year they wanted to last year, but they've changed a lot of things. They changed ownership, changed the coaching staff. Dean Castelli is back behind the bench, and their lineup has a brand new look too, and they've got a brand new pitcher from the United States on the mound tonight, and we'll see how Logan Walters can do against this Baycats lineup.
That game on Sunday against London ended with a bases-loaded walk to Charlie Towers to tie the game, and then Clayton Keys singling to left field to bring home Troy Banks with the winning run. So a huge start for the Hamilton Cardinals, you'd have to think, with this 2-1 start to their season, and they run into the undefeated Barrie Baycats 2-0 here tonight at Vintage Throne Stadium. Lineups have been exchanged at home plate. The men in blue, we will introduce them to you in a moment, and we'll have the starting lineups from Rob Daniels in just a moment, our PA announcer here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Lots of changes on the Cardinals this season. We'll run through many of those for you as the broadcast unfolds. We saw one of the changes here on Sunday afternoon, Jeremy Veilleux with the Brantford Red Sox here on Sunday when they played Barrie. Let's join Rob Daniels now for the player introductions.
Here are the starting lineups. First for the visiting Cardinals, managed by Dean Castelli. Batting first, playing shortstop, number 2, Charlie Towers. Batting second, the center fielder, number 24, Clayton Keys. Batting third in right field, number 5, Tyler Duncan. Batting fourth, the catcher, number 14, Louis Bernardo. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 16, Dennis DeBanning. Batting sixth in left field, number 3, Danny Berg. Batting seventh, the third baseman, number 6, Lane Renaud. Batting eighth at second base, number 7, Troy Banks. And batting ninth at first base, number 20, Tristan Osika. Pitching tonight for the Cardinals, number 41, right-hander Logan Walters. And now, the starting lineup for your Barrie Baycats, managed by Josh Metlow. Batting first, playing left field, number 47, Brad McQuinn. Batting second, the center fielder, number 4, Starlin Rodriguez. Batting third, the designated hitter, catcher, number 27, Ryan Rio. Batting fourth, the third baseman, number 13, Marcel Lacasse. Batting fifth, the catcher, number 5, Josh Cote. Batting sixth, the second baseman, number 26, Adam Odd. Batting seventh in right field, number 54, Christian Kazenka. Batting eighth, the first baseman, number 40, Josh Timmons. And batting ninth, the shortstop, number 3, Carson Burns. Pitching tonight for your Baycats, number 22, Jeffrey Nunez. Here are the umpires for tonight's ball game. Calling the balls and strikes, Jared Merkley. At first base, we have Adam DeClaire, and handling third base tonight, Ryan Jackson. Fans, can you please rise if you are able to, and kindly remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you. Baycats fans, tonight is a very special night at Vintage Throne Stadium, Healthcare Heroes Night at the ballpark. We are very proud to welcome members from the RVH Foundation and their Keep Life Wild campaign. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a hand to the RVH Foundation and healthcare workers across Ontario. A round of applause for our healthcare heroes. And joining us tonight from RVH, diagnostic radiologist and the medical director of the medical imaging department at RVH. She's throwing out the ceremonial first pitch. Please welcome Dr. Raj Grover. Raj, it's your pitch.
Oh, a nice pitch from Raj to Josh Cote, the Baycats catcher, for tonight's ceremonial first pitch. And a good group of healthcare workers here on hand tonight. First responders, of course, as well with them all through the ballpark at Vintage Throne Stadium. And what a great opportunity to honor them here tonight on the first of several special theme nights that we have at the ballpark here at Vintage Throne Stadium.
Yeah, I think comfortably the best theme night selection the Baycats have ever had for the 2023 season. And it starts with Healthcare Heroes Night with RVH Foundation, and that is so special and so important, and we're so happy to be thanking them for all the work they do across Barrie and the extended area.
Our first inning brought to you by JC Unlimited Contracting. Design, supply, build, renovate, servicing Simcoe region for over a decade. Jeffrey Nunez gets the ball, his first start with the Baycats, but his second appearance. We got a little taste of him here on opening night against the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he pitched 2 innings of relief. Didn't go the best for him, allowed a run in the fourth and then 4 runs in the fifth, but all 5 of those runs were unearned. The Baycats with some very sloppy defense, and 4 errors in that ball game certainly didn't help. So here's a chance for us to get a look at Nunez with a clean slate and a chance to take the ball on the mound for Josh Matlow right from the get-go here tonight.
Yeah, very different situation. The Baycats cleaned it up defensively in the second half of that game and across the second game against Brantford, so hopefully it'll be a little more solid for him behind him today against the Cardinals.
Nunez struck out 2, walked 3, and allowed 3 hits over those 2 innings of relief work in a game that the Baycats inevitably came back to win, as we mentioned, with some 9th inning dramatics against their arch rivals from Toronto. So Nunez, 25 years old. The right-hander is from Baneo, Dominican Republic, one of several Dominicans on this team, and Charlie Towers will step in for the first pitch of tonight's ball game. Nunez will work from the stretch right from the get-go. First pitch is hit on the ground to first, and it's picked up by the Baycat first baseman tonight, Josh Tibbetts, and there's 1 out in the inning as we take a look at the defense for the Baycats.
Yeah, let's do it. Left field is Brad McQuinn. He is making his first start in left field, and Starlin Rodriguez in center field. Christian Kazemka makes another start in right. Third base, Marcel Lacasse. Carson Burns at short. Second baseman's Adam Odd making his first start of the season. Josh Tibbetts back at first. Behind the plate for Jeffrey Nunez, Josh Cote.
First pitch tonight, officially 7:41 here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Fastball called for a strike to Clayton Keys. As we look at the lineup for Hamilton tonight, Towers, Keys, and Duncan to lead it off here for the Cardinals. Pitch from Nunez, high fastball, and it's 1-1. Luis Bernardo in the cleanup spot. Dennis Day Banning, the veteran DH, bats fifth. Danny Bergen left. Lane Renault, Troy Banks, and Tristan Osika rounding out the order for Dean Castelli and the Cardinals. Swing and a miss. Nunez ahead 1-2.
And look at what Jeffrey Nunez did last season against the Guelph Royals. He was solid last year. One of the better pitchers across the IBL. Kept the strikeout numbers high, and that's something that he'll be doing if he's effective, keeping the walks down as well.
Foul back to the screen.
Good pitch mix. When he's at his best, he can be at the top of an IBL rotation.
2 playoff appearances for the Royals last year as well. Of course, they fell to these Hamilton Cardinals in round 1 and what most would consider a playoff upset last year between those 2 clubs.
I think the only people who wouldn't have considered it a playoff upset would have been the Cardinals.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Nunez, and it's high and maybe a little inside, 2-2. Jeffrey Nunez looks into the catcher for the sign. Cote puts down the fingers. He comes set. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And it's a called strike 3. Jared Merkley ringing him up with a bit of a delayed call, and Keys looking over his shoulder with a couple of words. Maybe not happy about that, but he'll head back to the dugout, and there's 2 down.
That's one I'd love to see again. I mean, you look at Keys' reaction. He thought ball all the way. He was really surprised by that. But that's an early indication of what this zone will be like from the home plate umpire, Jared McKelly.
Well, it looked like it could have gone either way, and I wanted to wait before making the call, of course. And Merkley a little bit slow on the gesture there, but
my apologies, Merkley. That's what happens when you write it down really quickly and struggle to read it.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
2 down for Tyler Duncan. Pitch from Nunez, and it's a called strike. Merkley with a pitcher's strike zone so far, at least in the first couple of batters here that we've seen tonight.
I wrote down the umpires in record time, but unfortunately that had some side effects.
Nunez to Duncan on the ground, right side, and Tibbetts again will get his second putout of the inning as he makes the flip over to the pitcher who will make the putout. And there's 3 up, 3 down for the Cardinals in the first inning. Baycats coming to bat. We're scoreless through a half an inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
No hits, no runs, no errors, nobody left on base. To those fans down the left and right field lines, for your own safety, please be aware of batted or thrown baseballs leaving the field of play at all times and the possibility of serious injury. Also, anyone retrieving a game ball leaving the
Premier North Windows and Doors is a proud supporter of the Barrie Baycats, locally owned and operated and specializing in window replacement and door installation. Simcoe County's #1 choice for windows and doors. Classic Car Wash, customizing your car wash experience using high-quality products. Their team of experts will make sure your car is shining like new when you drive away. Give your car the VIP treatment it deserves at Classic Car Wash in Barrie. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers and go Baycats! Here at Vintage Throne Stadium as the undefeated Barrie Baycats come to bat. Brad McQuinn leading off in left field. Starlin Rodriguez in center. Ryan Rio the DH. Marcel Lacasse in the cleanup spot tonight. Josh Cote catches and hits fifth. Adam Odd will make his first appearance of the season at second base tonight. Christian Kuzemka in left. Josh Tibbetts at first. And Carson Burns the shortstop. The lineup tonight. Starting 9 for Josh Matlow's Barrie Baycats.
And they'll be facing off against Logan Walters, righty from Chattanooga, Tennessee, 25 years old, stands at 6'3" on the mound. You'll see 4 pitches from Walters, 4-seamer, 2-seamer, a split, and a curveball. We'll see how he uses his pitch mix throughout the evening.
McQuinn in the leadoff spot tonight, shows bunt, pulls it back, and it's 1-0.
Excellent college stats across 2022 with Southeastern. Pitched 40 and 2/3 innings, 62 strikeouts to only 11 walks. He went 7-0, but then things didn't go so well in the Pioneer League. He had a 6.91 ERA, so we'll see which version of Walters we get against the Barrie Baycats here tonight.
Went to Southeastern, as you mentioned, in Lakeland, Florida, Tennessee Tech, and the University of Memphis. The Tigers are NCAA Division I. Nice quick play by Walters, makes the throw, and it's in time for the out. 1 down in the bottom of the first inning.
Good job there by Walters defensively. Let's take a look at the defense for the Hamilton Cardinals. Danny Berg is in left field. Clayton Keats in right field. Tyler Duncan is in right. Left-right on the infield. It'll be Lane Renaud at third base. Charlie Towers is the shortstop. Second baseman Troy Banks. We saw him with Brantford, I believe, last season. Then Tristan Osika, who was playing second base most of the time last year for Hamilton, moves over to first base. Luis Bernardo in the squat for Logan Walters.
And what a start to the season. Starlin Rodriguez has had 3 for 4 in the Brantford game on Sunday afternoon, batted in 3 in that game as well. Off to a terrific start here in his second stint with this club.
And his confidence is very, very high right now. You saw it with the bat flip after that home run.
Just a little nod to the past there with a clip that went viral a few years ago in his first stint with the team.
Got a great second angle of that bat flip thanks to Dylan Quinn on Baycats TV right now. Check it out on a commercial break. It's really, really cool. You get to see the field angle, flips the bat. It's good stuff.
And that's a bat flip earlier, I think, perhaps a little reminder to the fans that he's back and he's ready to get going again here in his second tenure with this club.
He's here. And just like last time, the bat flip was not met with universal acclaim among other teams' fans.
1-2 the count to him here. The pitch from Walters on the way. Swing and a miss. Goes down on the heater, and it's 2 out for DH Ryan Rio.
Looking at the weather right now, it is getting a little bit chillier. The sun's setting not where it usually feels like it's setting here. It might be in the same physical place, but usually it impacts the field of play and really gets into the hitter's eyes at this point. It's not going to do that right now. It's coming in behind them down the trees from well over right field. So it should not create huge distraction to the hitters right now, but it is getting cooler, and that might create a bit of a distraction because if it's going to get cooler than this, it's going to be a chilly night.
First pitch to Rio, and he takes it low and away, ball 1.
That said, no signs of wind either. It is pretty calm and no clouds in the sky.
Game time temperature last I checked, 13 degrees. A chilly night here for late May. 2-0 to Ryan. Oh, they called us a strike again. Late. I'm going to have to slow it down a little bit here.
Yeah, these are some late strike calls. Hitters will not like that.
Oftentimes umpires will verbally say whether it's a ball or a strike and then make the hand gesture several seconds later, and that seems to be Merkley's style.
I mean, you managed to annoy both the hitter and the pitcher when you're a little bit late with those strike calls. Well, the umpire's not that concerned about that.
And the viewers.
But the pitcher's going to get impatient, the hitter's going to get impatient, and then tempers may go up later in the game.
Maybe we should mic the umpire, just so we know whether it's a ball or a strike a few seconds before he holds the arm up. 3-1 is the count.
This is really going to bother you, and it's going to be very entertaining for the listeners and me.
Well, it's tripped me up twice already, so.
It's going to be excellent. Looking forward to it.
Foul back, and the count is full. 3-2 to slugger Ryan Rio. We've seen a few different heights and weights listed on Walters. The one I saw had him at 6'3", 220.
I've got 6'3" as well.
So he's grown a lot in the last few years, I guess. On the ground, over the pitcher's head. Second baseman picks it up, has to hurry, makes the throw, and he gets Ryan Rio. And there are 3 outs. So the Baycats go 3 up, 3 down. We're through an inning and scoreless between the Cardinals and the Baycats. You're watching Baycats Baseball on Rogers TV in Barrie and Baycats TV.
First, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
Welcome back to Vintage Throne Stadium in the top of the second inning here. Just a quick update about some team injuries per Josh Matlow. Tyler Plumpton, unavailable tonight, but is feeling 100% after being removed for a groin injury on opening night. Christian Mullen was removed from Sunday's game early as a precautionary measure, but probably won't see game action for 2 weeks with upper arm shoulder tightness. Also, catcher Hayden Jaco and pitcher Gardner Spoljaric are recovering from longer-term injuries, but have been participating in team activities and will be on the field later this season.
And then one more update we have to share for you is we're trying to figure out why, but James Anderson has come into play left field for Brad McQuinn, who was lifted after the first inning. Back on the mic, Ben Davy.
Thank you, Patrick. Yeah, I didn't notice anything too unusual. That was that bunt play to the pitcher. Maybe he pulled something on that sprint down the first base line. We'll try to get an official update on that situation for you. High pop-up, and it looks like it'll stay playable. Josh Cote makes the catch. 4 straight retired by Jeffrey Nunez.
You'd imagine the top of the order has shifted around to prep for the return of Noel McGarry-Doyle to the top of the order. So you can have McGarry-Doyle and then Rodriguez as the top 2 with Rio behind. But Brad McQuinn's a key part of this team as well. Josh Matlow's been very clear about that wherever he's playing in the outfield. So we're hoping that it's nothing serious.
James Anderson is a versatile player, but as this one's hit, nice play by the third baseman, Marcel Lacasse. Up with the throw, and unable to come up with it is Josh Tibbetts. It went in and out of his glove. What an effort by Marcel Lacasse.
And that should be scored as a base hit. It was a tough throw, tough Try over there at first, and I don't see an error sign, so I'm guessing base hit right there for Dave Banning.
Danny Berg, the left fielder, comes to the plate. I was mentioning James Anderson, a versatile player, but I'm not sure when the last time was he batted in the leadoff spot.
I don't think ever, maybe.
So runner on and one out, and Berg will bat. And first pitch swinging, fouls it off left side.
Second inning, by the way, brought to you by Wingin' It Restaurants, the great taste of adventure. Love that. Great taste and adventure, and the great taste of adventure. All three.
A little bit of both. Back on his belly is Dennis Debanning. Debanning at first, one out here. We're in the top of the second. Berg 2 for 4 on Sunday afternoon against London's. Off to a 286 start. That one a lot closer.
Yeah, they nearly got him there.
Great pickoff move by Jeffrey Nunez, keeping Debanning honest at first.
Nunez looking good. He's gotten into a groove, pitching at a consistent pace. Looks comfortable out there on the hill.
The count is 0-1.
It's a smooth, repeatable delivery, and we noticed that that's another late call, man.
It's called strike. 0-2 is the count.
This delivery is really, really smooth. It's one of the smoothest in the IBL. It's one of the most repeatable in the IBL. That's what impressed me last year with Nunez as well. He's a guy who really can be consistent out there on the hill.
Runner does not go. 0-2 pitch, lifted in the air, left field side. And it is going to fall foul. And the count will hold at 0 balls and 2 strikes.
I tell you, umpiring is an extremely tough job. You know that we praise the umpires on IBL fields as much as we can, but these strike calls have been too late today.
Third baseman Layton Renault was on deck. Nunez had retired 4 in a row prior to Debanning reaching safely. 0 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. From the stretch, the leg kick, and the pitch. And it's high for a ball. 1-2. Mentioned that game time temperature of 13 degrees. We have a frost advisory in effect for the Barrie area late tonight in the overnight hours. So bring in your potted plants, Patrick.
Well, I'm going to leave one outside, but the other 3, they're inside already.
Well, that one poor one that you leave outside just may not be alive tomorrow morning.
Well, it's a fighter, you know.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Another throw. 3 attempts by Nunez. Checking on Dennis Debanning. No restriction on number of pickoff attempts here in the IBL for Major League Baseball fans who might be wondering. 2-2. Fouled off at home plate.
There is also no pitch clock rule as of right now in the IBL. You wonder if that'll get changed at some point, but not right now.
Just getting some information here on the wire. It's a quad injury to Brad McQuinn in left field. So James Anderson taking over. And hopefully just a minor incident for McQuinn. On the ground, second baseman to short. The relay to first, and it's in time for the double play. 4-6-3 on to Burns to Tibbetts, and the Cardinals are retired in the second inning. No score through an inning and a half. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
For Hamilton in the second inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base.
We be disturbing the peace, working, we serving the streets. About to go ain't going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
Carrington comes in, and the
Hard body, and
and the score is James Anderson, and the Baycats win.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp.
Premier North Windows and Doors is a proud supporter of the Barrie Baycats, locally owned and operated and specializing in window replacement and door installation. Simcoe County's #1 choice for windows and doors. Classic Car Wash, customizing your car wash experience using high-quality products. Their team of experts will make sure your car is shining like new when you drive away. Give your car the VIP treatment it deserves at Classic Car Wash in Barrie.
Leading off the second inning for the Baycats, third baseman number 13, Marcel Lecat.
We go to the bottom of the second inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium. The Baycats and the Cardinals scoreless. Just one hit in the ball game for Hamilton, and now Barrie, after a 3-up, 3-down first, will send Marcel Lecat, Josh Cote, and Adam Odd to the plate. Logan Walters for his second inning of work.
Lacasse.
Full wind up and the pitch on the way. And Lacasse, first pitch swinging, lifts it to center field, and it is going to drop into the gap in left center. Keys up with the ball on the warning track, fires it in, it's cut off, and that is a leadoff double to start the second for Marcel Lacasse.
Lacasse playing in his second game back with the Baycats. Big double there. Played just a few games last year as he played most of the season in the Frontier League across a couple of teams, but was a big member of this Baycats team in 2021. And he expects to be a big part of it once again this year.
Josh Cote, the catcher, now to the plate with a man on and nobody out here in the bottom of the second inning.
It is going to be a battle for playing time between the 5 catchers on the roster, but Josh Cote making a real case early on in the year to take a big chunk of the playing time, both at the plate and good defensively as well.
Righty-righty matchup here is the first pitch, swing and a miss. I think you noticed Patrick, but I got my haircut at Vintage Throne Barber Lounge earlier today.
Good experience.
Great job, Claudio, as always, taking good care of me, and the whole team there is fantastic. Daniel and Sabrina do a wonderful job running Vintage Throne Barber Lounge, and we're here at Vintage Throne Stadium, so.
They are extremely, extremely nice people, and highly recommend.
Yeah, we appreciate their support and their sponsorship here over the years. Pop foul, and it's well over the Cardinal dugout and out of play. Adam Odd on deck, and he will come to the plate for the first time this season. Josh Matlow telling me earlier today how thrilled he was to get him into the lineup.
Yeah, he's almost glowing about Adam Odd, isn't he? I don't know, based on the way he's talking about him. I think the team is expecting a big year. He had a few injuries last season throughout the year, had some off-the-field things that kept him away from the ballpark, but this season all healthy and really expecting a big year out of the lefty who can play both first and second base.
Yeah, he was used as this one's lifted by Cote, outfield, left center, and coming over to make the catch is Clayton Keys, and Lacasse is going to stay at second, 1 out. Or 2 out, excuse me, as Christian Kuzemko will bat with a man at second and 2 away.
26, Adam Odd.
Where are you getting that second out from?
No, you're right. My mistake. I corrected myself and I shouldn't have. 1 out for Odd.
You got to trust your gut.
Yeah. Well, there's lots of gut to trust. You didn't have to laugh.
No, I didn't. It was a... It would have been more awkward if it had just been silent.
You know what? We were talking about Odd. That's what happened. We were talking about him and he wasn't at the plate. And that's why I thought I had missed an out and I said there were 2 out.
That's fair.
Anyways. 1 away. Runner at second. Baycats looking to get on the board here in the bottom of the second inning.
I feel bad for laughing now.
Pitch from Walters as he checks the runner. The leg kick. 1-0. It's a called strike. 1-1.
Odd playing second base. That's notable. He mostly has played first base in his Baycats career. But with the competition at first base between Josh Tibbetts and Dom Morea, we're going to see more second base from Adam Odd this year.
Absolutely. Count 2-1 to him here.
3 games across the IBL tonight, by the way. In addition to this one, 2 games also got started around 7:30. One happening at Jack Couch Park in Kitchener. That's the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Kitchener Panthers. Guelph also taking on Welland. That's at Welland Stadium. the pond, as they call it. So we'll keep you updated on the scores for all 3 games throughout the evening.
Odd hit .328 last year through 17 games, and he hits this one to center field again. Busy inning for Clayton Keys. He's over for that one.
And what both Cote and Odd will find annoying is neither of those got deep enough so that Lacasse could tag. He's still on second base after the leadoff double.
Christian Kuzemka, the Baycat rookie, to the plate now for the first time tonight. Kuzemka with a hit in 4 at-bats, scored a run in the Brantford game, 7-2 here on Sunday afternoon. Righty-righty matchup. Kuzemka holds that bat up high, and the first offering misses low, 1-0.
Hey, stay tuned. In the 3rd inning, we're going to hear about Kyle Mavis, who is a Barrie Baycat but still at school, doing great things for his current team. We'll hear from Julius Hern in just a little bit.
Kuzemka calls time to regather himself. Walters with the pitch. Breaking ball, and it's a called strike, 1-1.
That's a perfect pitch. Perfect location, good mix. Logan Walters looking good out there on the hill, only the one piece of hard contact.
Good start, and they're really expecting he could be an ace of this rotation, Patrick. He's got that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's just whether they get the version of Walters we saw in college or the one they saw in the Pioneer League, who was not quite as effective.
Looks in for the sign. At the belt, 2-1 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Count is even 2-2.
Good off speed there. Fooled him, got under it. And that's a couple of times now Christian Kuzemka has been fooled, and he's a good hitter. It's hard to fool him.
Now, the team in the Pioneer League that Walters played for are the Glacier Range Riders in the state of Montana. Just 6 games for them.
He's played in different places across the U.S.
Be fun to play ball in Montana, wouldn't it?
Why's that?
Just seems like a great state.
All right.
Got all the mountains and
fair enough.
Country air. If you like that kind of life.
I have nothing against it.
I think I would. You're more of a city guy, aren't you?
I like the city.
Swung on and missed. What a big strikeout. So after the double to Marcel Lacasse, Walters gets the next 3, and we're through 2. Scoreless at Vintage Road Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Hey fans, we have a...
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go ain't going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
Carrington comes in, and the
Hard body, and that's
and the score is James Henderson, and the Baycats win.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May.
Youth and Family Services Group for joining us tonight in attendance. Also, first baseman Josh Tibbetts for the Barrie Baycats. His 19th birthday was yesterday. Happy belated birthday, Josh. And a warm welcome to Team RVH in attendance. Thank you so much for joining us here this evening.
Welcome to the 3rd inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium. For those of you who are like me, are fans of NCAA college baseball, want to give an update on what's happening with one of our new Baycats, Kyle Maves, who is currently finishing his senior season at Quinnipiac University. Kyle is having his strongest college year this season for the Bobcats, hitting .362 with an .890 OPS and 28 steals in 53 games at Division I. For his college career in 5 years at Quinnipiac, he's hit .298 with a .755 OPS with 1 homer and 75 steals in 174 games. In their MAAC tournament opener yesterday against Niagara, Quinnipiac won 13-2 with Maves going 0 for 2 with a walk. They continued their conference tournament run today against Ryder. Baycats fans can expect to see Maves once he joins the team following the end of the Bobcats postseason run. We're rooting for Kyle and Quinnipiac on the road to the College World Series.
Thank you very much, Julius. Third inning brought to you by Trim, aluminum and siding, quality above all else. And Ben, it is really an exciting prospect, Kyle Maves, that he'll be with the Baycats soon.
A lot of buzz, and certainly we're looking forward to hopefully a chance to see him here in Barrie. Great job by Julius on that update for us. And Lane Renault is at the plate for the first time tonight. Troy Banks and Tristan Osika to follow. Nunez with a fastball and a strike, and it's 0-2.
Kind of that reverse leadoff scenario for Hamilton. If you look at the lineup from the bottom to the top, Osika, Banks, Renault could be 1, 2, 3.
Righty-righty matchup. 0-2 pitch from Nunez, and it's a called strike 3. Rung up by Jared Merkley, 1 down. Here comes Troy Banks.
Troy Banks.
We heard between innings that it was Joshua Tibbetts' 19th birthday earlier this week.
Yeah, he has a lot of power for his age. He's a big guy. Could be a Baycat for a long time, and that's another exciting thing. He's a really, really good young player.
A very mature young man, too, I noticed when I talked to him. I did not strike me as a 19-year-old at all. He seems like he's been playing baseball and for a long time.
In all the good ways, he almost seems more like he's 29 years old. You know, he's up there with a lot of maturity, good approach at the plate, has the physique of an older player, but also the athleticism of a younger player. He's going to be a good player for a long time.
One of the few players on this Baycats roster that's younger than you, Patrick.
That's true. There's a fair amount now.
I wish I could say there's only 1 or 2 younger than me.
It was my 25th birthday in April.
Actually, 25 seems to be the average age of a player on this roster. As I was going through at the start of the season,
I'll get up. I'll go field. I'll go play left field.
You fit right in there with these boys.
I'll go play left field, and I'll catch nothing, and I'll hit nothing, and then I'll be demoted back to the broadcast booth for the next game. The Thornhill Reds, after Chadwick Cameron was listed out for the season, at the bottom of their tweet they go like, anybody want to play a few innings? And I responded, you know what? If you're willing to lose every game, I'm the one you should call.
Well, that's pretty desperate if they were considering options like that.
I don't think they were.
I've seen you on the field.
I mentioned this last game, but I think it was in the first couple innings when we were having technical issues. Chadwick Cameron, one of the pitchers that Thornhill pitched against the Baycats in that exhibition game, unfortunately is out for a considerable amount of time. We wish him the best on a quick recovery, good young arm.
That one hit a country mile, but foul. Country mile high, vertically, I should say. Count will hold at 3-2 here to Troy Banks. See, I'm more in the Brad Grieveson age demographic. Even that might be a little bit complimentary for me. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
We need to get ourselves into that celebrity softball game next year.
Yeah, I don't know how we missed it.
Yeah, we need
to push. They had just about every other media person but us.
Yeah, we need to be in there.
I honestly don't know how we didn't get invited. A lot of politicians, a lot of TV and radio people made it here.
Yeah.
You and I, who call the games. Like, honestly, how did we not get out there?
We need to be in there.
And we weren't. It's not like we were working that day. It's not like it was on television or anything. So.
No.
3-2.
Although the last time you and I practiced, you had a pretty significant injury out of that.
I don't know if it was from that, but it may have been. Ball 4 to Banks.
Are you feeling better, by the way? Like, is that all gone?
Yeah, I had a bulging disc, a herniated disc.
Yeah.
It was pressing on my sciatic nerve. Jeez. And for about 4 or 5 months, I was limping around.
Yeah.
And it really affected my life. End of January, it slowly started to heal, which was good because I was starting to consider, some nerve block injections and stuff like that. Didn't want to have to do all of that. People start talking about acupuncture and things like that. I mean, that stuff works well, but I just wanted to avoid it.
Well, apparently that works very well, acupuncture.
Into right field for a base hit. So 2 on for the Cardinals. And then, yeah, just to wrap up the story, it just sort of gradually healed on its own. And that's what I was told would happen.
Yep.
It'll take some time, but the pain will go away.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, and maybe we can see you out there on the field for the exhibition game, for the softball game next year.
Baby steps, baby steps.
I just want to jump in here, guys. I think it'd be really cool if sometime later this year we get to the ballpark early and just take BP. Maybe for some socials if the fans want to see that. I think it'd be really fun.
I think the fans don't want to see me taking BP that much, but I'd love to do it.
The people who played in that celebrity game probably did so on the condition that it would not be televised or published on social media whatsoever.
See, they think they want to see us doing BP, and then they'd see the video and they go like, actually, we're good. I don't need to see that anymore.
Big pitch coming up here from Nunez as he's got the leadoff man, Charlie Towers, 0-2. 2 on, 1 out. We're in the third. Nunez trying to pitch out of his first jam in this game, and it is just low, 1-2.
Good take.
These teams will meet again in Hamilton on Sunday afternoon at 2:05 for the rematch of tonight's game, but Barrie gets one more home game before then, and that'll be here against the defending champion, London Majors. That one blocked in the dirt. Off with the mask is Cote, and he has no play at third. Good read by Banks as he was off quickly, and no chance for the catcher to make a throw. So both runners advancing.
That'll be rolled a wild pitch.
2 in scoring position. Good opportunity here for Charlie Towers. 2-2 from Nunez. On the ground to second. Odd. No play at home. He'll throw to first, and the Cardinals get the game's first run. So Towers retired 4-3. In to score is Banks. It's 1-0 Hamilton. Osika to third, Keys to the plate. Nothing Cardinals. And the count is 1-0. Now, if you're looking for a good game to come to and you haven't been out to Vintage Throne Stadium yet in 2023, that London Majors matchup should be an exciting one here on Saturday afternoon at 2:05. Hamilton hosts Kitchener tomorrow at 7:35 before that Barrie rematch on Sunday. Keys 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Checks his swing, and it's a called strike. Count is 1-2.
This is a key pitch in this game right here. These Cardinals are much improved from last year, and you need to keep it as close as possible.
1-2, and it's high and inside. Count is even. 65th year for this Hamilton Cardinals baseball franchise. They were known as the Hamilton Thunderbirds when I started broadcasting games about 15 years ago.
That's what they were known as when I started my first stint with the team.
Shallow right field, and sprinting in and unable to make the catch is the right fielder, Christian Kuzemka. Didn't really get a good read on that. Another run comes in. It's a 2-0 Cardinal lead as Tristan Osika scores.
Baycats fortunate that Keys was only able to get the one base out of that. That could have easily gone behind Kuzemka and caused havoc on the base paths.
Well, that'll go as a base hit, but probably a ball that Kuzemka would love to have back, I'm sure. If he got a better read on that, he might have had a chance. Had to make the dive at the last second, just couldn't come up with it. So 2 runs for Hamilton here in the third inning. Tyler Duncan now to the plate for the Cards. Left field, or third base side rather, shallow outfield. Back on the grass, Marcella Cass, and he records the out. So the Cardinals go down, but not before scoring a pair of runs. We're through 2.5, 2-0 Hamilton here at Vintage Throne Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
For Hamilton in the third inning, 2 runs.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers and go Baycats! BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
It's the 5th inning here at Vintage Throwing Stadium. 2-1 Cardinals over the Baycats. Bottom 4th of the inning. I want to talk about Evan Souls. After a stellar performance on Sunday against Brantford, Evan Souls was named IBL Pitcher of the Week yesterday. Sunday was his second appearance of the season and by far the longest of his IBL career. After starter Christian Mullen was removed from the game due to injury, Souls came on in relief and pitched magnificently, going 8 1/3 with 9 strikeouts and only allowed 2 hits and 2 earned runs.
Thank you very much, Julius. 4th inning brought to you by Clarkson Bins and Junk Removal, the local source for simple, clean, and reliable disposal, bin rental, and junk removal services. Ben?
Thank you, Patrick. Josh Cote lead it off for the Baycats here at the bottom of the 4th inning, trailing 2-1. First pitch misses outside. That emergency appearance by Evan Souls that Julius was talking about was one of the best I have seen in all my years calling Baycats baseball here, and came on with 2 outs in that first inning and basically just put it in cruise control, locked in, and just an incredible job. Struck out 9 in that game, as Julius mentioned, and looked magnificent. 2-1 the count. Foul back to the screen. A lot of Baycat fans here tonight taking advantage of the Game Day Shuttle, which is a new addition for 2023. We've mentioned it a lot, and we'll continue to do so. Just to let you know, you can catch a free bus ride here to Vintage Throne Stadium with your ticket.
The next planned shuttle will be on Military Day, but they're open to adding more days if it's popular, so make sure you take advantage of it. So July 20th is a guaranteed one with more dates potentially being added. It was also available on the season opener as well as today.
Yeah, and the more fans use it, the more dates I'm sure that bus is going to run. So ball 4 to Cote as he draws a leadoff walk here in the 4th inning, and it brings Adam Odd to the plate. You can pick it up at Park Place, and the bus leaves at 6:45. You will get here to the ballpark in time for first pitch. Allendale Recreation Center is the second stop, then the downtown Barrie bus terminal, then the East Bayfield Community Center before arriving at Vintage Throne Stadium, and then the bus will take you home after the game as well. And there's a 10:15 bus that leaves. I noticed the last one though didn't leave until after the game. So
yeah, and we encourage everybody as well, if you decide to have a beverage at the game like Baycats Brew or a different beverage, we ask that you drive, or don't drive if possible. Do not drive. And one of the alternatives to driving is the shuttle bus, so another great option for fans. So
yeah, you can enjoy yourself here at the game and get yourself home safely. So
yeah, find a designated driver or use the shuttle bus.
1-1 to Adam Odd. Odd flied out in his previous at bat. Baycats down by a run here. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Here's the pitch. Did he check his swing? And it's a strike. Logan Walters looking sharp here in his second game of this 2023 IBL season.
Yeah, just want to emphasize that since I almost misspoke. Please do not drink and drive.
1-2 on the way. Here's the pitch, and it's a pickoff attempt as they check on the runner. Back at first is Cote.
Baycats have a lot of options when it comes to lefty-righty this season too. That's another big addition to this ball club. They can mix and match and use that data.
Swing and a miss. Strikeout for Walters, and there's one down here in the bottom of the 4th.
5th strikeout for Logan Walters today.
the right fielder, number 54, Christian Kazemka.
Rookie Christian Kazemka to the plate. First season in Barrie. Got his first hit against the Red Sox here on Sunday afternoon. He'll come to the plate here with a runner on and a 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Runner leads. And the pitch on the way. Foul back to the screen. Baycats with a perfect 2-0 record on the line here tonight against the Hamilton Cardinals, who look much improved this season as well. Baycats had a 4-0 start to the year last season, and hoping to perhaps duplicate that again here in 2023, if not go even a little deeper. Pitch. Called strike on the outside corner. 0-2 to Kazemka.
There is a bit of a wind now coming in from right field. It was mostly quiet wind-wise for the first few innings of this game.
That pitch sails high, got away from Logan Walters.
Yeah, it sure did. Just not the release time he was going for. Nothing intentional there. You could tell it off the hand. And you're right. As it gets colder, you're going to see more pitchers breathe into their hands, try and get the ball just a little bit warmer to avoid things like that.
Walters did a couple of little knee bends on the mound, just keep the circulation going here. 1-2 the pitch, and a throw over to check on the runner. Odd back at first. It's home white jersey. A lot of dirt on the front of it now. After a couple of head-first slides back on the pickoff attempts. This one on the ground. Two-hopper, and it's off the glove of Lane Renaud. Second error of the ball game. And it's going to send the runner to third as the ball finally comes in. That looked like a routine play.
And that'll be the second error on Lane Renaud in as many innings. And that was a harder play, but it's still an easy scoring position. The thing that bugs me a little bit more about that is the lack of urgency when it comes to trying to get Christian Kazemka at second. It almost looks like they gave up on the play just in the middle of it, just to not make any more risks. But Kazemka, when they gave up on it, was only halfway between first and second. If they had gone to second a little bit sooner, they might have been able to get him trying to get that extra base.
Yeah, great pickup there, and both runners in scoring position now. That could be pivotal here in this one-run ball game. We'll see how it plays out. Still just 1 out.
Well, you essentially give your pitcher a balk when that happens, and that's frustrating.
Luis Bernardo out for a chat with Logan Walters. Home plate umpire out there to tell him to move it along. Yeah, there didn't seem to be anybody really prepared when that ball scooted off Renaud's glove and got by him. It was just sort of lying there, and the outfielders really hadn't made much of an effort to come in and back him up at all. So
you have to be on your feet, and you have to be backing up that third baseman. If anything goes wrong, you need to be alert. Even the outfielder had come in to try and back them up, but there was just not enough urgency on that play.
Strike call to Tibbetts.
I'll tell you what, though, that won't happen again. If there's a misplay in the infield again, everybody will be on their feet trying to get redemption from that.
Manager Dean Castelli's been around the game for an awful long time, and I'm sure that'll be pointed out at some point.
Left the Cardinals at some point early in the 2022 season, and Jeff Lansbury took over, and then Lansbury left the team at the end of the year, and the new ownership group for the Cardinals decided to bring Castelli back, and then Lansbury ended up in Toronto.
Tibbetts got fooled. He's down swinging. 2 strikeouts for Logan Walters, and that's a big one. 2 outs for the number 9 hitter, Carson Burns now.
The shortstop, number 3, Carson Burns.
Burns walked and scored Barrie's only run in this ballgame so far. That happened in the 3rd inning. 25-year-old infielder from Orangeville. 5th year on the Baycats. Burns is an avid golfer. I was talking to him a little bit on media night. He said it's always tough to get out there on the green during the regular season, of course, as it overlaps with baseball, but he enjoys working both on his baseball swing and his golf swing whenever he's able to.
I wonder if that is a positive or negative to the baseball swing.
I'm not a player, but I've always found it to be a negative. Two very different types of swings, but
I want to bring a comparison to something completely different, but I promise you it's related. If you get really into a fighting video game and you're completely used to the controls and you have everything down to muscle memory, and then you pick up a different series that's the same genre and everything's a little bit different, you have to adjust to that second one, it can be really tough to go back to the first one. You almost wonder if that can be the case in baseball and golf a little bit, where you try and avoid getting into those golf tendencies and you have to relearn some of the baseball ones. I know it's a bit of an odd comparison, but
are there sabermetrics in video games?
Depends on the video game.
If there are, I'm sure you're up to speed on all of them.
Here's Julius.
Yeah, I can speak to the swing differentiation a little bit here. I think with golf, you're going much more lower to your body and you're kind of just swinging through, where in baseball you're really driving forward with your hands rather than swinging around.
Burns hits this to second, and the play is made by Troy Banks, and that will do it. So the Baycats unable to score. They strand 2 at scoring position. We're through 4 innings. Barrie trailing by a run. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 2 left on base.
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go ain't going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
Carrington comes in, and the
Hard body, and not
the
scared.
score is James Henderson, and the Baycats win.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp.
Premier North Windows and Doors is a proud supporter of the Barrie Baycats, locally owned and operated, and specializing in window replacement and door installation. Simcoe County's #1 choice for windows and doors. Classic Car Wash, customizing your car wash experience using high-quality products. Their team of experts will make sure your car is shining like new when you drive away. Give your car the VIP treatment it deserves at Classic Car Wash in Barrie. Fifth inning at Vintage Throne Stadium. It's brought to you by ETAL Paving for all your residential, commercial, and industrial paving needs, providing quality service for almost 40 years because you deserve the best. And on the bank to call the next 2 innings for us is Patrick Melbourne.
You went really slow on the ending there, and Rob almost overtook you and beat you to the end of that read.
I should have slowed that right down to get us into stereo. Huh?
Yeah. Lane Renaud takes a ball up and in from Jeffrey Nunez, who retakes the mound. He's given up the 2 runs, but other than that, he's been pretty good tonight. Looked solid in terms of rhythm, in terms of pitch mix. Mentioned that smooth, repeatable delivery as that's fouled right back to the screen. It'll be Renaud, then Troy Banks, the second baseman, and Tristan Osika, the first baseman.
And a defensive change for the Baycats as Brantfee Infante comes into the game to play right field for Christian Kuzemka. Not aware of any injury situation with him, although we did note it hasn't been his sharpest game defensively, we'll just say that. There was a ball that we thought he should have caught earlier in the game, and then another one that Adam Odd came all the way back for and actually caught in front of him.
1 ball, 2 strikes. So the starting outfield for this game was McQuinn in left, Rodriguez in center field, and then Kuzemka in right. It's now Anderson, Rodriguez, Infante left to right as Renaud swings and misses. That's strike 3, 1 away in the inning. Second strikeout of the day for Lane Renaud.
Number 7, Troy Banks.
So here's Troy Banks. Banks reached and scored in the 3rd inning. That's one of the 2 runs for Hamilton. The other run was scored by Tristan Osika, who's on deck.
Yeah, Nunez has done a really nice job settling down here, retiring his last 5 in a row off the single by Clayton Keys in the 3rd inning, in that inning where Hamilton scored 2 runs.
Tricky hop to Burns. 6-3. 2 out. So here's Tristan Osika.
The first baseman, number
Mentioned
20,
it earlier in the show.
Osika
Osika is really getting used to a new couple of roles here, because last year he was almost always at the top of the order for the Hamilton Cardinals, and he was almost always the second baseman. He had that big walk-off home run last year, which really cemented him as part of the core for the Cardinals, as Nunez goes with a slower delivery there, trying to throw off the timing of Osika, and it's 0-1.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that, and it seems like Dean Castelli has the lineup here that he likes. He's gone with the exact same guys in the exact same spot that he did for the win over London, and why not? It seems to be working, so just roll with it. But all 9 batters are in the exact same spot that they were on that Sunday afternoon game.
And it's an interesting couple of things. First off, like I said, the bottom of the order can almost look like the top in reverse, as that's granted. Nice play by Josh Tibbetts. He steps on the bag. It is an extremely quick inning for Jeffrey Nunez, and we'll have to stop that thought there as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. You're watching Baycats TV and the Barrie Baycats on Rogers TV in Barrie.
for Hamilton in inning number 5. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base.
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go ape, going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
Carrington comes in, and the
Hard body, and let's
and
get
the score is James Anderson, and the Baycats win.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May.
Welcome back. Top of the order in the 5th inning for the Barrie Baycats. It's James Anderson, Starlin Rodriguez, and Ryan Rio. And we have a special guest in the broadcast booth joining myself and Ben Davy. It is Dylan Quinn, and Dylan has been working on our social media. He's also been providing some excellent alternate camera angles for video on YouTube. Dylan, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being on. We got some incredible views of the Starlin Rodriguez bat flip and the Ryan Rio walk-off hit, and you were the man behind that. What was it like filming all of those?
I gotta say, getting that walk-off hit was pretty special because we were down the whole game.
Yeah.
And going into the last inning, I thought, okay, get ready to wrap it up, and then they came back all of a sudden. Bases loaded. They had the bases loaded. I think it was full count, or no, it was first pitch, and I walked down to the left field, or the third base line. I said, I might just grab this with my camera. And lo and behold, first pitch, Ryan Rio sends a ball into shallow center field, and they walked it off, and I got it on video.
Well, you got to trust your instincts when it comes to that, right?
Yeah.
Counting at 1 and 2 to James Anderson, and you're working on another special project when it comes to the Baycats. Evan Souls, with such an amazing performance, you wanted to get more of that and let our fans in on some exclusive angles and a bigger video about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm hoping to bring some interesting video aspects to the team this year. You know, hopefully that you'll be able to see this upcoming week. I have 2 projects I'm working on right now. One with Evan Souls, and another just a general team video that I hope to get hyped up for the season.
James Anderson down on strikes to open up the inning. Here's Starlin Rodriguez, and Rodriguez behind that big home run, and we got the bat flip, and we got such a cool angle that we were able to use. And like before, we got the broadcast angle thanks to Barrie Backland, and we got the on-the-field angle thanks to you, Dylan Quinn. You mentioned how it felt to get the Rio walk-off. How did it feel to see that bat flip and know that you got it on camera? As that's through for a base hit. Starlin Rodriguez with the first single of the inning, and the Baycats have a base runner on with 1 out.
You know, Patrick, you're making me sound so professional and good at taking video, but it's funny because when Starlin Rodriguez hit that home run, I had missed about 3 plays right before that, and I was feeling pretty down on myself, but luckily I got the only one that mattered, and my hands were shaking. I didn't want to move the camera at all, and I didn't, and I got the bat flip, and that was the only shot that I needed to get that day, and I got it, and thank God I did.
Hey, as long as you get the good one, then nobody cares that you missed the bad ones, right? Here's Rio, left-handed hitter against the right-handed Walters. Logan Walters on the hill, swings and misses at the first pitch. It's 0-1. And we've uploaded both of those to Baycats TV as a split-screen view with the broadcast angle, so you can go watch those on a commercial break. We prefer you didn't turn off the live broadcast to watch those, but you can do what you want, as there's a throw over to first. Or you can watch it after the game. Tons of different options for Baycats fans. So, Dylan, go into more of what you do on a game day basis. You're down there behind the fence doing some video. Just describe a everyday thing for you, but we'll wait as Ryan Rio just hit one into right field. That's a base hit. Rounding second, going to third is Starlin Rodriguez. He's thinking about home, but the ball got in. A lot more urgency that time. 2 straight hits for the Baycats. Here's Marcel Lacasse. But yeah, what do you do on a day-to-day basis here with the Baycats?
I feel like what I bring to the table is kind of a Swiss Army knife role. You give me a job and I'll do it, and I'll do a decently good job. I'm doing social media, the in-game post for the Baycats, and if a highlight happens, usually I got a post up there, a story up there, highlighting that, highlights. But when I'm not doing that, I can be moving around the field. Maybe you'll see me on the broadcast running from third baseline to first baseline. I get video of the hitters, the pitchers, and I'm hoping to do some really cool stuff with that this year, make some cool videos that will hopefully be on all the social medias this year, and lots of content coming your guys' way.
All right, I think decently good is a little underselling yourself. You've done a great job so far for the Baycats. We're lucky to have you on board. Thank you so much, Dylan Quinn. Dylan is a contributor to our Baycats media team all year long. Patrick Melbourne, Ben Davy here with you. Julius Hern, our reporter as well. Marcel Lacasse with a 1-0 count. Runners on first and third. It's Rodriguez on third, Ryan Rio on first. There's a cut and a miss from Lacasse, 1-1.
Nice for our viewers to get a chance to know Dylan a little bit, and he summed it up well. He's the Swiss Army knife of our game day crew here.
And he used to play baseball with Julius Hern, and I didn't know this when they both came in for our media day, and they knew each other, and I was like, okay, I'm glad you played together. Did you dislike each other? That was the main question. And thankfully, they didn't dislike each other, and it's been a very smooth media team ride so far. We've also got Sam O'Coin doing the post-game recaps. He's doing our post-game recap today. You can read that after the game on barriebaycats.com. And, of course, Dan Miller, Gary Mason, Rob Daniels up in the booth up there, and Brian Backland, our producer, Bob Hurley, our photographer. 2-1. Turns into 2-2. Big swing and a miss from Marcel Lacasse.
The way you roll through those names without any sort of script in front of you just absolutely amazes me. I can barely remember Gary's name as Gary, let alone his last name. Of course, you're working with all these people on a regular basis.
Yeah, that's true. I have a Slack group if I need a cheat code. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runners on the corners, only 1 out here in the inning. Here's the pitch from Logan Walters. And that is strike 3. Foul tip, strike 3, and Lacasse down on strikes.
Second time of the game, Lacasse has gone down swinging, and a big strikeout here for Logan Walters, who's looked really sharp. Baycats have had their chances and stranded runners in every inning except the first.
And through 4 2/3 innings, Logan Walters has thrown 80 pitches. That's a good pace. He could potentially...
Exactly what he did in his previous outing against the London Majors. Just really did a nice job, or against, I think it was Welland in his previous appearance this year. He's kept his team in the ball game, kept the score close.
That's a ground ball. Reno can't get to that one. Rodriguez scores. Rio up to second. That's a base hit. They're going to call it a base hit for Josh Cote. Third hit of the inning for the Baycats, and we are tied at 2.
And it has not been Lane Renaud's sharpest night defensively at third base for the Red Sox. We've seen him play much better baseball than that defensively over the years. He won't get charged an error on that, but he's really struggling there, slapping the glove, just trying to pull himself together. As you can see, he's just not sure if physically there might be something going on or just mentally unfocused, but 3 balls tonight that he should have had, and that was one of them.
Sometimes it's just not your night, and I think tonight might just not be Lane Renaud's night.
Happens to everybody at some point in the season, and you just hope you can get out of that funk quickly and refocus yourself for the next game.
He has 2 strikeouts as well, 1 swinging, 1 looking. Here's Adam Odd. He's 0 for 2 as well, looking to get out of that and get his first hit of the season. And that's a strike, 0-2.
In the meantime, when a player, a hitter knows that somebody is struggling out there, it gives you that chance to maybe exploit that a little bit, and the lineup kind of might try to hit the ball there a little bit more often. And when a guy's struggling out there, you can really use that to your advantage sometimes when you're trying to take advantage of any situation you can.
No question. That's down and away. Odd will step out of the box, reset for the next pitch. Count now 1-2. Odd did not play in the first 2 games for the Baycats. He did not play in the win against Brantford, where they won 7-2. That was on Thursday, on the weekend, May 21st. Here's the 1-2. That's down low.
Odd put together a .328 average in his 17 games here last season. Very effective at the plate for Josh Matlow. Played a variety of positions, as we mentioned earlier.
Two. Got on and missed. And that's the second strikeout of the day for Adam Odd. And through 3 different hits, Logan Walters kind of struck out the side. 3 strikeouts in the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the top of the 6th inning here on Baycats TV and in Barrie on Rogers TV.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats!
Two out, runners lead. There they go. Here's the pitch. This one rocked to right field.
Want to come to a Baycats game? Check out our tickets at barriebaycats.com.
Score at least 2. Tuck is in to score. Rio behind him.
Leading off the 6th inning for the Cardinals, shortstop number 2, Charlie Towers.
Welcome back. Top of the 6th inning. Top of the order for the Hamilton Cardinals against Jeffrey Nunez, who's back out there. He started mixing up his delivery just a little bit more in that last inning, but it was an excellent inning for him. Extremely efficient, a 1-2-3. Strikeout, then a couple of groundouts. So it'll be the shortstop, Charlie Towers, and then the center fielder, Clayton Keys, and the right fielder, Tyler Duncan. The top of the order combined 1 for 6.
This will be the 70th pitch for Nunez, 47 strikes. Josh Matlow would love to leave him in there as long as possible, get that first win as a Baycat here tonight.
Down and in. Again, at 2-1.
Busy weekend coming up for Barrie. In London here on Saturday, and then back in Hamilton on Sunday.
Down in the dirt. Hamilton and Barrie tied at 2. And that's outside, ball 4. So a leadoff base runner in the 6th inning, and that'll bring up Clayton Keys.
Nunez had retired 7 in a row prior to that walk to Towers.
Center fielder,
So the Cardinals will try to interrupt his momentum a little bit here. He was on quite a roll. Went through that 5th inning pretty quick.
Couple of pitchers up in the bullpen for the Hamilton Cardinals. Nobody up yet in the bullpen for Barrie, but Brad Graveson's running down there to maybe get something going. It's been a great bounce back appearance for Nunez. Good first start overall. Kept his team in the game. They went down 2-0 early, but they've since fought back, and it's now 2-2. Big cut on a miss from Clayton Keys. He was the last base runner before the current one. Hit a ball into right field. Struck out in the 1st inning.
So I noticed something, Patrick, when I was looking at the MLB standings the other night, and I pointed it out to a few people, something that I think I've never seen before, if at all. I can't recall. The Milwaukee Brewers are leading their division. They have a negative run differential. And yet they're in first place in their division.
Yeah, you took them out of your fan free agency.
I had to when I saw that.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that qualify you for running in the fan free agency. Negative run differential in first place.
Well,
that can't happen.
2 months into the season, and somehow they're in first place, yet they've allowed more runs than they've scored.
It is not a good division.
Well,
neither's the AL Central.
I guess what it means is that when you lose, you're losing by a lot, and when you win, you're not winning by much. That's how that happens.
The two Central divisions are the two weakest divisions in baseball. That's hit to right field. That'll be a base hit. Charlie Towers rounding second. He'll go to third, as this is going to be extra bases for Clayton Keys.
Well, they're going to send him.
Now coming all the way home, and the Cardinals take a 3-2 lead here in the 6th.
Great base running by Charlie Towers and some impressive speed rounding third. He was coming around like a steam train. And the best throw from the outfield wouldn't have got him. Picked up that ball beautifully in the outfield, and they sent him all the way.
So after battling back and tying the game 2-2, Hamilton retakes the lead here in the 6th inning. And here's Tyler Duncan, who is 0 for 2 today. Still nobody out in the inning. I mean, in Major League Baseball, you look at the divisions, the two strongest are the AL East and the NL West. And then after that, it's probably AL West, then NL East, and then it's the two Central.
Yeah, I mean, and you can still have some interesting races, but just very poor baseball in both of those divisions. And the thing is now you don't have to play the teams in your division quite as much. They've changed it so that you're playing teams from the other league more often. So you're not going to get beat up by your own division like typically happen to the Blue Jays all the time. They'd end up playing Tampa and the Yankees and those other teams so often. It was hard for them to,
I really think it's time to do away with the divisions and just go with two conferences.
Well, that's an interesting conversation some people are starting to have, and it's for this very reason. You know, it seems a little silly that a team can win their division in a situation like Milwaukee right now.
Or be in the top of a division when you'd be last in another division.
Well, and the Blue Jays are 5th, and yet they have
they would be leading the AL Central.
And I think they have a better record than Milwaukee, too. I'd have to look it up. But
big cut on a miss from Tyler Duncan.
Now, did they add the extra wild cards? Is it 6 or 7 per league that get to the playoffs? I know they were talking about expanding it.
I had the old playoff format down and to memory. The new one, it confuses me.
They were talking about 4 wild card teams with the 3 division winners. Yeah. I don't know if they actually adopted that or not. I think it's still 3 wild cards, 3 divisions.
I'm not huge on the wild card games, to be honest. I like the old format better. I like the wild card game as that one hits Duncan, and there will be runners on the corners as Keys was stealing third. He'll get in there easily without a play.
Well, toughest start to an inning.
He'll have to go back. Excuse me.
Toughest start to an inning here for Nunez so far in this ball game. And He's done a nice job. Pitch count still under 80. They could leave him in for another inning or two, but
Luis Bernardo.
one mound visit already.
So Keys was going. If it hadn't hit him, then he would be in at third, but he has to go back because he can't take the base on that. Chris Cox is up in the bullpen now, by the way. So another meeting on the mound, the second of the inning, to give Cox some more time to warm up. You would think Cox won't need a ton of time to warm up just because he doesn't throw with super high intensity on his arm, but he has raised the velo back up last season, so I could be mistaken. First and second, still nobody out in the inning.
Middle infield here, I assume, would play at double play depth, try to get the ground ball, forget about the runner at second, and just try to get the 2 outs here. This is a tough jam and a good test for Jeffrey Nunez.
Strike call to Luis Bernardo, the catcher.
Bernardo looking for his first hit of the night. He's 0 for 2.
Popped up in the second, and then popped up again in the fourth. Once to the catcher, once to the second baseman, and that was the play in right field where Adam Odd kind of stole one away from Christian Kazemka. Big cut on a miss there, 1-2.
Bernardo looking for just his second hit of the season. He was 1 for 4 against London on Sunday afternoon.
One ball, 2 strikes. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. That is really well hit, but really foul.
Noticing some of the fans here at the ballpark are trying to help the home plate umpire a little bit, because since he has that late strike call, gives them a window of an opportunity to try to influence the umpire a little bit.
Amateur officials is what Joe Bowen calls them.
I've heard it a couple of times.
1-2.
So
That is strike 3.
Do you hear the whole ballpark go, yep, yep? And then a second later, there's the call from the umpire.
You can tell Bernardo was annoyed by the late call, but he also knew it. It was right in the middle of the zone.
Hitter, number 16, Dennis Diabane.
When my son was playing in Barrie minor baseball, I must admit, I used to sit right behind home plate just so that I could do that. Try to help him out a little bit.
The umpires love that.
Well, my son was a pitcher. He loved to pitch out there on the mound. You just need a little bit of extra help.
So you're really well liked among that league's umpires then.
He doesn't play anymore.
Yeah. That's
I'm not sure if I contributed to that or not, but sometimes they just need a bit of a verbal prompt.
I had a really good game today, but my dad was a different kind of umpire than the real home plate umpire. He gave me a lot more strikes.
Sneaky move there by Nunez.
Yeah, safe at second base. Now, if you were an umpire, big zone or small zone?
Well, I'd try to give the real strike zone, right? Which is what?
Well, that's what they all try to do.
The letters to the top of the knees, right?
Yeah. Here's the 0-1. And that got away from Nunez.
That just slipped right out of his hand.
And that's the same thing we saw from Walters a little bit earlier, where the cold weather just affected the release timing of the ball. And it went up near the helmet. Both pitchers have had that. And that shows you how cold it is at the ballpark.
Yeah, really the only thing you can do in cold weather like this is try to keep that hand warm, blow into it as much as the umpire will let you. You don't want to take liberty of that too much, but...
We'd like to welcome any fans who are watching from Hamilton, who are Hamilton Cardinals fans. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. And we know that one's way up in it again. 2-1. And we know that the Cardinals have done a lot of upgrades to their in-stadium broadcast setup. And they're on Cable 14 in Hamilton. So we hope you're enjoying the broadcast. 2 balls, 1 strike. That's popped up. Moving over is Lacasse. Will he have a play? It's near the fence. No, he won't. Heads up.
You and I were both commenting about how much we love the Hamilton Cardinals' new logo. It's got a sleek new design.
Looks great.
Drifting away a little bit from the traditional St. Louis Cardinals look that the Hamilton Cardinals have had for so many years, and kind of modernized, more of an Angry Bird, I guess.
I am all for IBL teams having their own identity and drifting away from similar identities to anybody else. Hamilton, this is a unique look. It's their look. it's really well done in my opinion.
Almost more like a Cincinnati red color scheme with the red and black, as opposed to the traditional Cardinal red and blue.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Kicks, fires. Got him. Dave Banning down on strikes, 2 out.
Great pitch by Nunez. Back-to-back strikeouts here, Bernardo and Dave Banning. And what a test here for the Barrie right-hander in his first start of the season.
And you know what? If he can get through this inning, and that's his night, 6 innings of 3-run ball, the Baycats will definitely take that. That is a encouraging first start in Barrie for Jeffrey Nunez.
Now you notice the Cardinals mascot on the logo is holding, looks like a baseball bat, but there's something on the top of it. It looks almost like a mallet or something, isn't it?
Yeah. A weight?
Oh, that might be the donut that goes on the bat, right?
Over right field, nearly gets our photographer Bob Hurley. Camera's okay though. That's the important part.
Bob will heal a lot easier than the camera will.
Bob is an excellent, excellent photographer. We're happy to have him again as our photographer for the 3rd season for Barrie Baycats baseball. Count now 1-1 to Danny Berg. Of course, you can look at all the team's historic photos on Facebook through Bob Hurley's Facebook and Brian Backland's Facebook for seasons before the 2021 season. That's fouled right side again. That one nearly had eyes on Bob as well.
Amazing how often I see that, a ball fouled off nearly the exact same spot twice in the same at bat, sometimes consecutive pitches even.
Well, oftentimes the pitcher on a foul ball knows he almost got the hitter with a strike, and then he'll go right back there, and the hitter does the exact same thing with
same swing, same pitch, same swing. You're exactly right. And I tell that to kids that are looking for foul balls too. If you're running over to one and you just miss it, stay there, because there's a really good chance the next ball will land in that exact same spot.
And remember, whether you're a kid or an adult or a teenager, make sure you have your eyes on the ball at the ballpark, because you do not want to get hit with a foul ball. And heads up.
Especially if you're down the lines, like here in Barrie, the Baycat fans love to just kind of lean on the fence down that first base line, especially. And if you're not watching the play, a ball can come screaming over there pretty quick.
Up and away. And Baycats fans wanted that, but it did look up and away to our vantage point. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The left fielder Danny Berg at the plate against the pitcher Jeffrey Nunez, hoping to complete his 6th inning of work. Runners on first and second. Kicks, throws. Base hit right field. That'll score 1. That's Clayton Keys. All the way to third goes Tyler Duncan. It's an RBI single for Danny Berg, and it's 4-2 for the Cardinals.
Well, they did not want to test the arm of Branfi Infante, so Tyler Duncan will hold up at third base because of it. But what a nice piece of hitting there by Danny Berg. That was the pitch of the ball game at this point so far, and unfortunate for Nunez as he was unable to finish the strikeout there. He had Berg 2 strikes, and Berg doing a nice job getting that ball in play and getting the runner in.
So Jacob Underwood will pinch hit for Lane Renaud, who just was not Renaud's night, either offensively or defensively. Had a couple of strikeouts and a couple of errors at third base. So Underwood will get a shot here. Primarily a catcher, but does play the infield, as there's a strike. Swinging on a pitch up in the zone. Count now 0-1. The runner at third is Tyler Duncan. The runner at first is Danny Berg. Runner at the batter is Jacob Underwood. That one almost looked like it got him on the foot. Clearly it didn't. He's not acting like it did, but it was all the way in the dirt.
Well, I wonder if it hit Cote in the foot, because he appeared ready to cock and throw, but he didn't get the throw away, and I thought maybe the ball might have hit him down near the shoe.
So Underwood, who just saw a ball almost hit him in the foot, will stand back in. Up to second on the wild pitch goes Danny Berg. And Nunez trying to recover his control, which was so good from innings 1 through 5 today, but it has kind of gone away here in the 6th. Had such a good 5th inning, a 1-2-3, but this inning really has not gone his way. The 1-1 to Jacob Underwood. And that's a strike.
Interesting to see the confidence Josh Matlow is showing Jeffrey Nunez here to try to pitch out of this inning. 2 runs already across for the Cardinals, and Nunez looked sharp with the back-to-back strikeouts, but now the RBI single by Berg and Underwood
And that is strike 3. Underwood down on strikes. The 7th point in the batting order tonight has struck out 3 times for the Cardinals. Heading to the 7th inning, Ben Davy to call it for you. You're watching Rogers TV in Barrie and Barrie Baycats TV.
No errors with 2 left on base.
All right. I'll do the read and then throw back.
Okay.
Premier North Windows and Doors is a proud supporter of the Barrie Baycats, locally owned and operated, and specializing in window replacement and door installation. Simcoe County's #1 choice for windows and doors. Classic Car Wash, customizing your car wash experience using high-quality products. Their team of experts will make sure your car is shining like new when you drive away. Give your car the VIP treatment it deserves at Classic Car Wash in Barrie. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers and go Baycats!
New pitcher here in the 6th inning is Nick Davies for the Hamilton Cardinals. He is replacing Logan Walters, who did such a good job for the Cardinals. He is in position to win. 6th inning brought to you by Beating the Odds Autism Center and Farm, where teaching is brought to nature. And for the call of the 6th inning, here's Ben Davy.
Thank you, Patrick. And just a couple corrections. I think we're on the top of the 7th here.
Yeah, we are. We're not, apparently. Yeah, bottom of the
Sorry,
6th.
bottom of the 6th. You're right. Bottom of the 6th inning.
I gave it my play-by-play half an inning early, apparently. That's okay. That shows you how long the top of the 6th was.
I was about to mention, it looks like Logan Walters is still out there. So Davy's in the bullpen. That I can't tell you.
I was given bad information.
So
the whole start of the inning has gone wrong on us. I'll still give it to Ben Davy, and I'll come back for another half inning later.
Can we edit that in production? 3,
Yes.
2, and 1. And welcome back to Vintage Throne Stadium.
Glad we edited all that out.
We're in the bottom of the 6th inning, and on to pitch is Logan Walters. There, how clean was that?
Excellent. Nothing went wrong at all. I'll steal the bottom of the 7th from you. How's that?
Walters goes with a change-up. It's a strike 3, the throw down to first to complete it. And there's one out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's Branfy Infante's first at bat of this ball game, and we can confirm that Christian Kuzemka was pulled from this game. No injury concern there at all.
Just a defensive replacement.
Just a defensive replacement, and we had mentioned he didn't commit any errors out there tonight, but it just wasn't his sharpest night. A couple of fly balls there that looked like maybe he could have got to.
You know what it was, Ben? The reason why I threw it to the 7th is it was the jerseys. The light gray and the white, they are very, very similar to the naked eye. They don't look super similar on camera, but to the naked eye, they really do. I can glance at one and think it's the other.
Well, all I know is that when you say something, my brain picks up the information because you speak with such authority. My brain just automatically assumes whatever you say is correct.
Well, 99.9% of the time I'm right, so it's not a bad assumption to make. But that's why, because normally I see like a completely different road jersey and it's super simple, but now I glance, I see a light gray, and it's similar. It's more similar than I'm used to.
Yeah, they had more of a powder blue road uniform last year, if I remember correctly. And
yeah.
Again, that was kind of the traditional Cardinal color scheme. Tibbetts hits this to center field, and a nice catch made by the center fielder for the Cardinals.
But hey, it's still
Clayton
on me. I got to
Keys.
clean it up.
That's only the 3rd game.
Yeah.
The shortstop, number 3,
Everybody everybody gets a little grace this early in the season, both on and off the field.
Do we tell that to Julius, or should we still give him a hard time?
No, he has to be perfect. We can tell you that Chris Cox will come on in relief of Jeffrey Nunez. That is confirmed from the Baycat dugout. So Jeffrey Nunez's night comes to an end. Unfortunately, he will not earn his first victory of the season tonight. He will turn a 4-2 deficit over to the bullpen. Carson Burns is 1 for 2 tonight, and the count 0-1. That one's low. Ball 1-1. The count to Carson Burns, the shortstop and number 9 hitter. We were talking about Carson Burns' golf game earlier in his last at bat, and I asked him, what's the toughest course around here? He said Tangle Creek. Anybody that's played there might be familiar with that golf course just south of Barrie, I guess Thornton.
Julius is looking at me like he has opinions. Do you have opinions?
I've heard that Tangle Creek is the most difficult course in the area.
Okay, so his opinion agrees with Carson Burns' opinion.
And he plays a lot of golf. Down the line and fair. Burns is going to round first and try to stretch it into 2. No, he holds up, and wisely so. A good throw in from the Cardinal right fielder, Tyler Duncan. Made that wide turn at first base, but with 2 out in the inning, made the safe decision to stay put.
And it looks like now they will be going to Nick Davies, potentially. So, see, I was even right on that. I was just a little bit early.
Dean Castelli out for
Unless
at least
I'm not.
a chat. We'll see if Logan can talk him out of it. But Burns was telling me that Tangle Creek course is usually pretty windy, and it's got tight fairways, too. It's a real tough challenge for him, and Burns loves a challenge both on the golf course and the baseball diamond. And Castelli's going to leave a little bit of confidence here in Logan Walters, who has pitched very well tonight. He's going to try to let him get out of this. Only 1 runner on here with 2 outs. So.
Now batting for the Baycats, left fielder number 34.
You would think this will be the last batter for the pitcher either way, because James Anderson coming up. He's not usually a top-of-the-order hitter. He's a very good hitter, but he's not a leadoff guy generally. But Starlin Rodriguez is on deck, and no way do you want Walters facing Rodriguez for the 4th time. He has already been on base 2 out of 3 times today.
Yeah, that's a good point. He's been seeing the ball well. One of the few Baycats that have seen the ball well from Walters so far in this game. So this could be his last batter.
Now, when it comes to you, do you like a challenge on the golf course, or do you like something you're familiar with?
Yeah, I hit a baseball better than I hit a golf ball, believe it or not. I tear up a lot of divots out there when I do try to play golf. Every course is a challenge for me, to answer your question.
So maybe mini golf's your sport.
Oh, I love mini golf. 0-1 is low.
Now, are you more an outdoors mini golf person or a glow-in-the-dark indoors mini golf person?
Oh, I love both, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we had a really good glow-in-the-dark mini golf course here in Barrie for a number of years. That was the 100th pitch from Walters tonight, if you're wondering. 66 strikes. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss.
Good pitch.
Walters 1 strike away from getting out of this.
And he's still got that velo working here in the late half of the 6th.
Manager Dean Castelli showing some confidence in him here. Hoping to get at least get 6 innings out of his starter tonight. 1-2 the count to James Anderson. Pitch on the way. Runner goes. Here's the throw down. It bounces up. And the shortstop there to back it up, but it's a stolen base. Carson Burns with some aggressive base running to get in a scoring position here. Try to get into the head of Logan Walters a little bit. Change the outcome of this inning if possible. Logan Walters, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Here's the pitch on the ground, and it is through into right field for a base hit. Rounding third is Carson Burns. Up with the ball is Tyler Duncan. The throw is cut off, and the Baycats are within 1. It's 4-3 Hamilton.
What a great timely hit there from James Anderson, and I believe, that's going to be it for Logan Walters, who fought for that last batter. Now a mound visit, and you will more than likely see Davies. Yeah, there it is. Call to the bullpen. Nick Davies coming in.
4-3 now in favor of the Cardinals. And we have 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. And we'll return and tell you more about the Cardinals relief pitcher in just a moment. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Now coming in to pitch for the Cardinals, number 10, left-hander Nick Davies.
All right, this time I'm going to come on the mic and correctly introduce Nick Davies into the game, as is highly encouraged on the Baycats TV broadcast. It is the lefty coming in. It is his third IBL season. He's played with the Brantford Red Sox. He's played with the Hamilton Cardinals. And per the Hamilton website, he has posted 10 strikeouts last season and 8.2 innings of work. And he's a guy that their front office is very happy as part of the team. Their GM, George Halim, says, Nick is a young lefty with a chance to log a lot of innings with us. And this is yet another inning where he will be in the game. So Davies coming in. It is James Anderson at first base. Burns has already scored this inning after singling, but there are two out as Branfi Infante struck out to open the inning, and then Josh Tibbetts flew out to the center fielder. We'll see if Davies can close off the inning. He'll be facing off against the hottest hitter in the Baycats order, Starlin Rodriguez. And to call it for you, the play-by-play voice of the Barrie Baycats, Ben Davy.
Thank you, Patrick. And what a night for Logan Walters. The Cardinals starter tonight goes 6 2/3 innings, 104 pitches, 68 of them strikes, allows 3 runs, all earned on 8 hits, 1 runner on right now, which is his responsibility. He strikes out 10 and he walks just 1. And that is what you call a quality start.
Starlin,
Cardinal right-hander tonight.
Starlin Rodriguez singled and scored in the 5th. Baycats down by a run. Really could use another one of those timely hits right now from Starlin Rodriguez.
Mentioned that the Cardinals didn't really have an ace starter in their rotation last year, and they're hoping Walters will be that guy for them here in 2023, and he certainly looked like an ace tonight. They really want him to attack the inner half of the plate, and they think he can be an all-star pitcher in this league. Cardinals GM describing Walters as a blue-collar, front-end guy, competes with his breaking ball, and he had all the tools working for him tonight. 4-3 Cardinals. We're in the bottom of the 6th. 2-0 the count to Rodriguez. The pitch. And it's low. Rodriguez in a favorable count here. 3 balls, no strikes.
And the danger with walking Starlin Rodriguez is then Ryan Rio comes up. And although it's a lefty-lefty matchup, you can never count out Rio in big moments.
Yeah, these two back-to-back, Rodriguez and Rio. You got to love that right at the top of the Baycat order.
Especially if you add Noel McGarry-Doyle to it later.
Called strike. 3-1 the count to Starlin Rodriguez.
It's almost like he assumes everybody knows it's a strike, so he just kind of doesn't bother to go with the strike call until a little bit later.
Well, he could very well be saying strike so the batter and catcher hear it, but
it's
it
also
doesn't help any of us up
No,
here.
it's a presentation for the audience too, you would think, a little bit. I know that's not really his job, but it's a little bit.
Rodriguez draws a walk to keep this inning going. Anderson advances to second. He's the tying run right now. Rodriguez would be the go-ahead run. And Ryan Rio would love to put Barrie on top with a swing of the bat here. Rio tonight has singled and grounded out twice. 1 for 3 on the evening.
And for the constructive criticism that we've given the home plate umpire, Jared Merkley, today, the one thing that has been positive is the zone has been consistent throughout this game.
Yeah, it's been a good strike zone. Just the late call that's somewhat bothered the fans and us here tonight. Pitch to the lefty, and it's a strike. Rio with some words for Mr. Merkley right there. 1-1. Got to be careful during an at-bat when you talk to the umpire. Ryan knows this is a big at-bat here. Here's the one pitch. It's inside.
Now we nearly got him.
'25-year-old Barrie native Ryan Rio. This is his 6th year with the Baycats. 3 championship rings with this club. 2-1 pitch from Davies on the way. And it gets all the way to the backstop. The runners will advance.
That'll go down as a wild pitch.
Anderson to third, Rodriguez to second, and 2 in scoring position now for Ryan Rio. And that only adds to the drama here in this bottom of the 6th inning.
You've got average speed at third, above average speed at second base.
Ryan Rio, apparently a very good golfer as well. Roy Sando was telling me that Ryan shoots in the 70s on the golf course regularly.
I wonder who the worst golfer on the team is.
And another one gets away from the catcher, but it's ball 4 anyways.
Second straight walk for Davies. And he loses the favorable matchup right there, the lefty-lefty. Fortunately for him, it's another lefty coming up, but Ryan Rio, that was a big at-bat, and now the bases are loaded for Marcel Lacasse.
Well, with a 3-1 count, perhaps not catastrophic to put Rio aboard here. No disrespect to Marcel Lacasse, but, you know, pitching to Ryan Rio with 2 in scoring position is a very dangerous scenario here, and that'll do it for Davies anyways. So he's done. The bases are loaded. There are 2 out, and Marcel Lacasse is coming to the plate. Big at-bat when we return. We're in the bottom of the 6th here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Baycats trailing by a run. You're watching Rogers TV in Barrie and Baycats TV.
Welcome back to Vintage Throne Stadium. We'll give you the out-of-town scores as we wait for Corbin Peters, the new pitcher, to warm up. Welland is really dominating the game in Welland right now against the Guelph Royals. They're up 9-0. It is a much closer high-scoring game in Kitchener as the Toronto Maple Leafs are beating the Kitchener Panthers 9-8. And then this game, it is 4-3 Hamilton Cardinals over the Barrie Baycats. But those other games, they are really high scoring. One of them really close, one of them really not. As Corbin Peters, the brand new pitcher for the Hamilton Cardinals, he is the 3rd pitcher of the day after Logan Walters and Nick Davies took the mound. Walters was really good. Davies not as sharp as he leaves the bases loaded with 2 out for Marcel Lacasse, Josh Coates, and Adam Odd behind him. And Ben Davy, it is a pickle to get out of for Corbin Peters.
Yeah, Peters in a really tough spot here. No margin for error with the bases loaded. This critical at bat coming up with Marcel Lacasse to the plate. And a very short stint for Davies in relief of Walters tonight. He throws just 8 pitches and throws 2 strikes. 2 runners on right now, which are his responsibility.
Marcel Lacasse struck out in his last 2 at-bats, but doubled in the 2nd inning. We'll see what he can do now. And back on the mic, Ben Davy.
2 strikeouts for Lacasse tonight, and Dean Castelli perhaps more comfortable with this matchup here.
And it's interesting, they take out the lefty in the lefty-lefty matchup and bring in the righty, so that speaks highly to Corbin Peters.
First pitch swinging and it's fouled off left side. Rio didn't really see a lot to hit or to swing at in that at bat, and you wonder if that was kind of the mindset anyways. Let's just pitch him carefully, hope he doesn't kill us with a one swing of the bat here, and if we walk him, oh well, first base is open anyways.
I'm not sure I see it like that.
You got a guy.
When you have the lefty on the mound against a lefty hitter, that's very intentional. You want him to go on and give him a very tough angle to work with, but he was just nowhere near the zone, pitching way too much inside, and with that control, they decided to go with a fresh arm.
Well, these managers are smart, and Dean Castelli is among the smartest of them, and obviously looking ahead to this matchup here.
The response in Hamilton when Castelli got let go the last time was not positive, and it was very positive when he returned.
0-2, and the Cardinals were running off the field. The Cardinals were coming off the field, and Jared Merkley now with some words with the catcher. They thought that was going to be his usual late called strike, and he didn't give it to them.
He's had words with just about everybody today.
Well, here's an opportunity for Marcel Lacasse to take advantage of this. 1-2 pitch coming up. Here it is. On the ground, down the line, foul.
And what happens after that when a pitcher is so confident after it and then does not get the call is you lose the ability to get those close calls from that umpire, because the umpire doesn't like to be wrong.
And when the batter gets a second life, how often do you see him take advantage of it?
And Hamilton will not be happy if Lacasse gets on base here.
Lacasse stays alive, just got underneath that one. 2-2 the count.
But the whole game as a pitcher and a pitching staff, you're fighting to earn those strikes. And if you do something on the mound like that, and that bugs the umpire, you can lose all of those close calls just like that. I'm not saying that's how it should be done or even how this umpire will work, but you see it a lot in umpiring.
Peters now steps off. He was very effective in his 7 appearances last season for the Cardinals. 6 of those 7 were in relief. Managed a 1.54 ERA. Struck out 15 and walked just 6. And he'll be a key arm in the bullpen.
They're looking for his top command out there on the hill right now.
1-2. Fouled away again. What an at-bat here by Marcel Lacasse.
That was a good pitch. Jammed him a little bit, got the foul ball, but more importantly, it was right where the target was.
He's fouled off 3 in a row now, following that close pitch that he took that the Cardinals thought was strike 3. This just has the script of an RBI situation right here. You just
well,
get
not
the
when the
feeling
play-by-play announcer guesses it. My goodness.
That's what Baycat fans are hoping for. 1-2, and he just got a piece. Barely underneath that one, and enough to stay alive again. He's fouled off 4. One ball, 2 strikes.
And you can see Corbin Peters standing there not wanting his rhythm to get interrupted. And now as the umpire comes in, they are meeting with him and at will.
Lacasse was the one who was stepped out of the box there.
Yeah, Lacasse steps out of the box. Peters is standing there on the mound, and he's waiting for Lacasse to get back in because he doesn't want his rhythm interrupted. And then the umpire comes and talks to him and almost makes him get out of his rhythm.
I'm not sure what the umpire had to say, but for some reason he came up to talk to Peters. Let's see if it interrupts anything here. 1-2, no sir. Strike 3. And Peters is fired up as he heads back to the Cardinal dugout. What a strikeout for the Cardinal reliever. The Baycats leave the bases loaded in the bottom of the 6th, and that's how that inning ends. A lot of baseball still to go. We're heading to the 7th. Cardinals up by a run. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
For this upcoming Saturday's home game over at BarrieBaycats.com or at the box office. And we hope to see you back at the ballpark this Saturday afternoon. Hey fans, we have your United Way 50-50 draw grand prize winner here at the ballpark tonight, and the winner is Eric K. Ticket number C1110. Once again, Eric K. C1110. Winner of the cash prize of $245. Thanks to United Way tonight, and congratulations, Eric.
Welcome back. It is the top of the 7th inning. Chris Cox in the pitch, and Cox has been a good reliever for this team, the Baycats, over the last couple of seasons since he joined in 2021. 7th inning brought to you by United Way Simcoe Muskoka, making poverty unignorable. To learn how you can help, you can visit uwsimcoemuskoka.ca. Patrick Melbourne, Ben Davy here with you. Next game for the Baycats is on Saturday at 2:05 p.m. Eastern Time. That's the London Majors at the Barrie Baycats. Tickets available on barriebaycats.com. And you can watch it on Barrie Baycats TV and on Rogers TV in Barrie.
Well, keep in mind, Chris Cox started warming up a long time ago. I mean, when Jeffrey Nunez was on the mound in the top of the 6th inning, Cox was starting to loosen up then, and then that bottom of the 6th just took an eternity, it seemed like. 2 pitching changes, Baycats left the bases loaded.
That'll be a base hit to lead off the inning for Troy Banks.
So we'll see how that affects Cox, if any, as he gets ready here on the top of the 7th.
So Banks on.
First baseman number 20.
And that'll bring up the first baseman, Tristan Osika.
7th hit of the night for the Cardinals.
Between Banks and Osika, they've been on base 3 times today. Osika hoping to make it 4.
Well, you've mentioned it a couple of times, this bottom of the order, almost like a second top of the order, and that's kind of been the idea here tonight.
Reverse leadoff strategy. That's what Osika's in as he shows bunt. Too far outside, pulls it back, count now 1-0.
Cox last year, 11 appearances, all in relief, worked 12 innings for the Baycats, a 7.1 earned run average.
Hamilton up 4-3 right now. Barrie hoping to keep it that way and then add on more in the bottom half of the inning. Count now 2-0 to Osika.
Cox averaged just over a strikeout an inning last year.
The runner on first is Troy Banks. He's got good speed. And that's a strike, 2-1. You just can't assume before the umpire says strike. You can't go, okay, that's outside, because it might not be. And that's a rule always, but especially today with these delayed strike calls. 2 balls, 1 strike. That's on the ground. Odd rushing in, throwing to first. Tibbetts makes the play, 1 away.
Well, Banks didn't steal, but it was kind of, he was sort of off with the pitch. He took about 3 or 4 steps from the usual leadoff position to get himself in that spot, and that enabled him to stay out of the double play. So a nice job on the bases there by Troy Banks.
Number 2, Charlie Towers.
So here's the top of the order. It'll be Charlie Towers and then Clayton Keys and Tyler Duncan. That's the top 3 in the order.
Once you get to these late innings, in a close game like this, a 1-run ball game, every extra bag you can take definitely makes a difference.
Banks at second, trying to score his 2nd run of the game. Kicks and throws. That's a strike.
Have to think that if Banks maybe didn't take that secondary lead and a few steps off with the pitch like he did, that might have been a double play, and that changes this inning quite a bit.
Action in the bullpen for the Baycats right now. Kind of looks like a side armor, so it might be Max Loiko. Steps off, looks at the runner at second, Banks back in time. No action right now in the Cardinals bullpen. Cox looks back at second. Kicks, comes home, and that's outside.
Cardinals, sorry, Patrick. Cardinals weren't very aggressive on the bases last year. They're stolen base leader, not with the team this year. Luis Jean had 12 steals. Nobody else had double digits.
He's with Welland this year. As much as some of the players have continued with the team this year, I think we can throw some of that data out just because of the new coaching staff.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see as the season unfolds what sorts of changes we'll see with this Hamilton Cardinals club, but so far, most, if not all of them, seem to be positive.
And that'll be a balk on Chris Cox. So the runner over to third base, that's Troy Banks. A balk called on Chris Cox. Count even still at 1. Big cut on a miss, 1-2.
Yeah, Banks has been a distraction out there on the bases, I think, for Cox a little bit. Forced him to step off on one occasion. Now the balk gets him 90 feet away.
One of the bright spots of the Brantford Red Sox last year as Charlie Towers strikes out. It'll be the second out of the inning. Here's Clayton Keys.
The center fielder, number 24, Clayton Keys.
So a balk charge to Chris Cox in that last at-bat. And now Keys, with a runner at third and 2 out, will be intentionally walked. So setting up the force play at first base. And that'll bring up Tyler Duncan.
Keys has had a good night at the plate, 2 for 3. One of many newcomers, new names in this Hamilton Cardinals lineup for manager Dean Castelli, and dangerous player.
Right fielder, number 5, Tyler Duncan.
Duncan will look to get his first hit of the night here. With runners on the corners and 2 out.
Brandon Hillier is warming up in the bullpen right now, one of the high leverage arms for the Baycats. 2 outs, runners on the corners for Tyler Duncan, the left-handed right fielder. Kicks comes home. That is crushed left field, but foul. Duncan saw that one and was just a little bit early on it.
If they ever remove the hedges along that that fence there, I wonder how many baseballs they'd find.
Well, you should get out there and go looking for baseballs.
I'll do that on my day off.
Yeah. 0-2. Big swing and a miss from Duncan. And now the Baycats a strike away from getting out of this situation.
Boy, that was a home run cut by Duncan there. He was looking to clear the fence with that one swing.
Baycats hoping to get out of it without allowing a run.
Couldn't catch up to the Cox fastball.
0-2. Kicks comes home. Up and away. Good call by the home plate umpire. That's Jared Merkley behind the plate. It's Merkley behind the plate, and then Adam Duclair at first and Ryan Jackson at third. Jackson's been an umpire for all 3 games for the Baycats so far this season. Here's the 1-2. He's been on the bases for all 3. And that is strike 3 called. Cardinals not thrilled with it. Duncan having words with Merkley, and we'll sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." When we come back, bottom of the 7th inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium in Barrie. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go ape, going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
Carrington comes in and the
Hard body, and that's
and the score is James Henderson and the Baycats win.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp.
Premier North Windows and Doors is a proud supporter of the Barrie Baycats, locally owned and operated, and specializing in window replacement and door installation. Simcoe County's #1 choice for windows and doors. Classic Car Wash, customizing your car wash experience using high-quality products. Their team of experts will make sure your car is shining like new when you drive away. Give your car the VIP treatment it deserves at Classic Car Wash in Barrie.
Welcome to the bottom of the 7th inning at Vintage Throne Stadium. It's 4-3 for the Cardinals over the Baycats. Chris Lazar's IBL power rankings for this week came out yesterday with Toronto on top at 3-1, Hamilton up to 3rd at 2-1, and Barrie is up to 5th at 2-0. Not sure if you guys have seen it, and I'm not sure how much the result of this game will change your opinion, but I'm curious to see what you guys think.
Well, I can tell you that I thought the Baycats were a little bit low, and so did Ryan Rio. He commented on it. Not thrilled with the placement of them on the power rankings, but they did move up. We'll see if they move up or down after another week of play. Josh Cote, Adam Odd, and Christian Kazemka's spot in the batting order, which is now held by Branfi Infante. So Cote, Odd, Infante coming up. And back to the mic for play-by-play the rest of the way, Ben Davy.
Patrick, Julius, thank you. Bottom of the 7th inning, and the Baycats looking to bounce back here, trailing 4-3. To the Hamilton Cardinals, who are looking for their 3rd win of the season. Barrie, of course, so far a perfect 2-0, an unblemished record, and they're trying to keep that intact here tonight. Pitch incoming, and it's a swing and a miss by Cote.
We've seen excellent command so far from Corbin Peters on the mound.
Peters gets the sign from the belt. Kicks and comes home. Swing and a miss. Another heater to Cote, and he couldn't catch up to it.
Paint up in the zone, exactly where he wanted it. Peters, he's got his stuff right now. Baycats need to fight through it.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The count to Cote. Pitch from Peters. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Cote goes down. He's 1 for 3 tonight. And here comes Adam Odd, coming off a couple of strikeouts himself.
Adam Odd.
We're commenting earlier about the 7th inning stretch song that seems to be catching on here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Heave Away. And it's kind of becoming a fan favorite here, I'm noticing, and a regular in the 7th inning stretch. Every team kind of has their post-7th inning stretch song. You notice that? Red Sox do Sweet Caroline. Mets have that Italian, Lazy Mary, I think it's called. OK Blue Jays, of course, after the 7th inning stretch in Toronto. So this may catch on here in Barrie. Heave Away by the Fables. It's kind of a newfie sounding kitchen party song.
Well, there used to be a Baycats theme song here at the ballpark.
Well, there's a Baycats song that starts off the player introductions, right? That before Rob Daniels comes on the mic. That's I don't know if that's what you're referring to.
It might be. I need to hear the full thing. I just associate that with the lineups now because we've used it for a couple years now.
Yeah. I think there might have been a couple of Baycats songs. There was an older one, too, that they used to roll out.
We need to get the players singing a Baycat song. Play that over the PA.
Make a great YouTube video.
Maybe get the players to sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game, just as a group. I'm sure some of the Baycats can sing.
Yeah, maybe.
Get you in there as well. Julius. There you go. Julius loves it. Loves the idea.
Harry Carey did it.
Dylan, James Henderson, who is working analytics tonight.
A walk to Odd. He reaches base for the first time tonight, and Branfi Infante will come to the plate.
Right fielder number 8, Branfi Infante.
Fan favorite and the longest tenured member of the Barrie Baycats, consecutive seasons with Barrie.
Great to have James, by the way, as a part of our media team as well.
Does a great job. Branfi, 36 years old, from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, his 9th season with the Baycats. Can play both infield and outfield, and came on as a defensive replacement for Christian Kuzemka tonight. Branfi got to go home to the Dominican with some of these Baycat teammates during the off season and said it was some really competitive baseball. He really enjoyed it. A lot of guys who have pro experience, pitchers throwing 95, 96, he told me, and Branfi said the Baycats did really good against them, and he actually wished the whole team could have gone.
Well, the Dominican Republic is home to some of the best baseball players on the planet. The Dominican Winter League in the MLB offseason is a must-watch for baseball fans. It's almost like the season continues for a few months.
Yeah. Branfi saw the massive turnover of Baycats following the pandemic. Said it was really tough initially. There were only a few other returning players from the championship-winning team in 2019, Ryan Rio, the main one, but Carson Burns, Brandon Hillier, a couple of guys that saw a handful of games in that 2019 season. So it was really a whole new experience for him being a part of a full-fledged rebuild here. To short. They go to second for one. The relay to first, and it is not in time. The ball gets away from the first baseman. So Branfi Infante stays out of the double play. Odd is retired 6-4.
First baseman number
And reaches
40,
first base on a fielder's choice.
Tibbetts.
1 on, 2 out for Joshua Tibbetts.
He's due. He's 0 for 3, but a couple of good at-bats today, and he has so much power and such a good eye at the plate that he's really due for a good hit.
Can't wait to see him pitch. We've been told we can expect some pretty good things from him on the mound this season when he gets his opportunity. Branfi bluffs a start, and he does not go. It's a called strike, and Bernardo looking the runner back. Branfi looking to get into the head of Peters here.
Yeah, I dropped in. Curveball.
Peters at the belt. Infante does not go, and a swing and a miss by Tibbetts. Corbin Peters ahead in the count here, 0-2, runner on, 2 out, bottom of the 7th inning. The wind has completely dropped to nothing. The flags on the poles completely limp here on that scoreboard. High fastball, and it's 1-2. Had a bit of a breeze in from right to left a little earlier tonight. Are we down to the single digits yet? We must be close. Game time temperature was just 13 degrees.
I think it was 13 degrees for about 5 minutes.
Swing and a miss. Tibbetts goes down on strikes. That's the 3rd time Tibbetts has been struck out this evening. And a big pitch for Corbin Peters as he gets the Cardinals off the field. How about that? 4-3 Hamilton. We're through 7. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go ape, going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
Carrington comes in, and the
Hard body, and that's
and the score is James Anderson, and the Baycats win.
Join us this summer at the Baycats Summer Baseball Camp.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May.
We go to the 8th inning at Vintage Throne Stadium. I'm Ben Davy along with Patrick Milbourne and our entire Baycats TV crew. A perfect 2-0 start to the season at stake for the Baycats as we head to this top of the 8th inning. Cardinals looking to add to their 1-run lead. And Luis Bernardo up to the plate to lead it off, followed by Dennis Debanning and Danny Berg. And they will face right-hander Brandon Hillier.
Hillier coming on for another appearance. He's already appeared for the Baycats this year. He has been one of the best relievers the last couple of years, a real high-leverage guy for the Baycats, looking set for the same role again. And, hey, if you ask Josh Matlow pre-season, each of these last 2 years, his plan for the late bullpen was Hillier, Cox, and Grieveson in some order. That's the way it's working out here. We'll see if the Baycats can get them some runs so they can go completely to plan.
Brandon Hillier was credited for the win in a game that he probably didn't think he'd get a win for here against the Toronto Maple Leafs on Thursday night. That epic 5-run 9th inning comeback for Barrie made him the winning pitcher of record in that game.
Grieveson has not yet pitched this season, but that looks like him warming up right now. I see the beard.
It's the first thing you'll see when you look at Brad.
Well, you look in the bullpen, and the first thing you look at is, okay, is there a beard? If there is, it's Brad.
Asked him how long he'd been growing that thing out for, and I think it's been a full calendar year now.
Well, it's longer than I've ever seen it.
He needs to go to Vintage Throne Barber Lounge and get the nice trim that I got earlier today. Take care of the neckline at least.
Tell that to him, would you?
Most, if not all, of the Baycats go there, by the way, in case you're wondering. This one lifted high to right field, and Branfy Infante makes the catch. 1 out here in the 8th.
That's when you look at him and you go like, yeah, he's a Vintage Throne guy.
Now, if we can get Brad Grieveson to, if we can get Brad to clean up his beard there and get your haircut there,
I'm good.
On the same day, they may have to close the place to the general public just to take care of you two guys in the same day.
See, I'm good. Love Vintage Throne, but I like my hair as well.
They certainly do. Foul just off the top of the screen. Nice catch by a fan.
That is the closest I've come to a ball coming in the booth.
Yeah, it hit the actual cable above the net, which is something that we almost never see.
Yep. And it could have gone in this direction.
Another half an inch and it would have been right in our broadcast area. Yeah.
Well, I'd make a play and then it'd all be fine.
Well, you got room to your left there to reach out.
Yeah, I'd reach out like that. Reach out like that. I didn't bring my glove, but my bare hand is just as good.
Hillier thought he got the curveball over. He didn't, said home plate umpire Jared Merkley. Count 2-1. It actually says 1-2 on the scoreboard. It's a 2-1 count.
See, I always ask other people if they bring their glove to the ball game. Hello. I don't need to because my bare hand is just as good.
Mitts of steel, huh?
Yeah, I catch everything that comes to me. I could be an
outfielder. Were you a first baseman?
I was third baseman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I was very good. Level play was not at its highest, though.
On the ground, shortstop. Up with it, firing it across. And it's off the glove of Tibbetts, unable to come up with it. He's had a couple of tough plays over there at first base today.
That's an error.
And they're going to give an error to Tibbetts for that.
And that's the right call.
Puts a runner on with 1 out here in the 8th. See, I was a middle infielder, so I was known for my soft hands.
Yes.
That's what you want to have if you're a shortstop, second baseman.
Yep. See, I could throw, and it was softball, like house league softball. So whoever could throw was put at shortstop and third base, and I didn't have the range for shortstop. So I was put at third base. I could throw, and I could hit.
Softball's a whole different animal. I mean, you know, try to make that big, strong throw from third base. It's a lot tougher. This one hit to the gap, and it is going to be caught by a sprinting Branfy Infante. What a job. Got the perfect read and took the perfect route.
What a play by Branfy Infante. I mean, you look at a guy who's normally set up on the other side of the field at third base, running over, making a perfect judgment. Fantastic catch by Branfy. That's highlight reel.
Came on as a defensive replacement for Christian Kuzemka in this ball game. And it paid off there.
Looks like Duncan McLaughlin warming up for the Cardinals. And then the guy in the Baycats bullpen, he has a beard, right? Yeah, that's Brad Grieveson. That's Julius Hern confirming it for us. All I need to know is, does he have a beard? It's Brad. Now, what'll happen is someone else will grow a big beard, and it'll make our jobs much harder.
No one's going to grow a beard as big as Brad Grieveson anytime soon, I can tell you that.
Someone's going to take it as a challenge.
Mentioned Brandon Hillier picked up the win in the Toronto game here on Thursday after a Baycat come-from-behind rally in the 9th inning. And baseball sometimes has a little bit of a poetic irony to it, and I found it interesting that Hillier got to be on the mound for that come-from-behind win because he was on the mound when the Leafs had that big inning to eliminate Toronto from the playoffs in Game 3 last year. Bang, bang play, and it's in time. And what an out as it gets the Baycats off the field.
And that is why Carson Burns is seen as the top defensive shortstop in the IBL.
Cardinals strand a runner. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Baycats trailing by a run. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats! BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
Bottom of the ninth inning at Vintage Throne Stadium, the Barrie Baycats in another come-from-behind situation, trailing by 2, looking to keep their perfect 2-0 record intact. Josh Matlow out talking to a couple of the umpires between innings there. Very animated conversation, again, with first base umpire Adam DeCare, who was the one that ruled that catch earlier that resulted in a double play that killed the Baycats' rally in the 8th inning.
As an umpire, one of your goals for each game is to avoid being the story. The umpires have been a story here tonight.
It was a tough call, but DeCare ruled that was a catch and a double play, and then Matlow went on to have a chat with Jared Merkley, the home plate umpire. I don't want to speculate on what was said, but they were both very, very strong and very animated conversations.
Well, I'm guessing no swear words because nobody was tossed from the game.
Nobody was tossed, but Josh got his point across, whatever it was. But still a bottom of the ninth inning for Barrie to try to flip the script here and put one in the win column. Ryan Rio with nobody on to lead it off here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Rio fouls it off left side. Amazing, we still have kids here on a school night, Thursday night. Late May, chilly night, single-digit temperatures, kids still chasing those foul balls.
It's okay. First period's never anything important anyway.
0-2. Rio fouls it away. Keeps the at-bat alive.
I say that, but first period was often my favorite in school. Because I had Comtech in Barrie.
Ryan Rio waggles the bat, waits for the pitch. 0-2 coming up, and it's a high fastball. 1-2. Duncan McLaughlin, the fourth Cardinal pitcher here tonight. Looking to close it down here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Change up, Rio lifts it to center field. It'll stay in the park. And the catch is made. One away.
The ball has really not been carrying tonight. We've noticed it 3 or 4 times now. Balls that I thought off the bat had a chance, and they came nowhere close to going. So really not a home run friendly environment tonight with the cold air and the wind coming in a little bit.
And this has never really been a home run hitter's park, but the ball is certainly more lively here. Those hot, humid days that we get into, mid to late August,
I mean,
especially.
You're right. That's what made Starlin Rodriguez's home run last game really impressive, because you and I are lucky if we call a home run during a game.
No balls and a strike to Marcel Lacasse, who is coming off a streak of 3 straight strikeouts in this ball game. In battling against Duncan McLaughlin. Cardinals 2-1 on the season. The leg kick and the delivery from McLaughlin. Swing and a miss. Chased one down in the zone, and it's 0-2.
Just fooled on that. Really good movement on that to get down and in on Lacasse and almost disappear under his bat.
Lacasse doubled in his first at bat and has not had a good night at the plate since. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 4 straight strikeouts tonight for Marcel Lacasse, all of them down swinging.
Catcher number 5.
And here's the catcher, Josh Cote. He'll try to keep this alive with 2 outs in the ninth, and the Baycats down by 2. Adam Odd hopeful for an at-bat on deck. Well, a lot of credit to this Hamilton Cardinal club, a much improved team from last year, looking for their third win of the season already here. And an out away from nailing this one down.
Took them a while to find their 3rd win of the season last year, it felt like.
That sure did.
But new ownership, new coaching staff, and a bunch of new players, and baseball is back in Hamilton. They've got a brand new game day experience over there, brand new stadium atmosphere, and as I mentioned, a brand new TV broadcast with a bunch of new angles. They have an outfield camera they've used a little bit, as well as new exposure on their network cable 14.
Trying to turn the page from a 12-30 record last season. And a strike there. It's 1-1. (5-3) Cardinals. 2 out in the ninth. Pitch from McLaughlin, and it's a high pop-up. It's going to stay in the field. And it's the shortstop coming over, and he falls on his belly and makes the catch. Charlie Towers diving for that ball, and he records the 3rd out of the ninth, and that will do it as the Baycats suffer their first loss of the season.
Well, just not the game the Baycats are hoping for. They had a couple of runs in the middle innings to get themselves back in the game, but just did not go their way overall. The Cardinals are a much improved team. Props to them. And it'll be an interesting rematch on Sunday when these teams face off against each other once again.
Hard-fought battle tonight on both sides, and that rematch will be interesting in Hamilton. 2:05 first pitch at Arbor Stadium in Hamilton. But before that, we've got our game against the London Majors here on Saturday afternoon, and that will be a good one. If you haven't been out to the park yet, circle that on your calendar. London here, 2:05 on Saturday afternoon, as the defending IBL champs will square off against the Baycats for the first time here in the 2023 season. Final tonight, Hamilton Cardinals 5, Barrie Baycats 3. Patrick Melbourne and our entire Baycats TV crew here at Vintage Throne Stadium. I'm Ben Davy. Good night from Springwater Township.